Welcome to a journey far away from the rushing currents of your daily life. Tonight, we are going to leave behind the bright screens, the endless list of tasks, and the loud noise of the modern world. Close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath in, and let it out gently. Feel the weight of your body settling into your mattress, your shoulders dropping, the tension in your jaw melting away. As you continue to breathe slowly and evenly, allow my voice to guide you across centuries, across oceans, to a place of unparalleled peace and secluded luxury. We are traveling back in time to the year 1080, to the magnificent heart of the Byzantine Empire, Constantinople. But we are not visiting the bustling markets, the grand cathedrals, or the crowded courtyards. Instead, we are seeking a sanctuary of quiet focus, a hidden haven tucked away deep within the labyrinthine corridors of the great palace. Imagine yourself walking down a long, dimly lit stone hallway. The sounds of the palace, the distant chanting of monks, the clinking armor of the palace guards, the echoing footsteps of diplomats grow fainter and fainter with every step you take. You turn a corner, then another, moving deeper into the private inner sanctum of the royal residence. The air here grows cooler, stiller, and carries the faint, comforting scent of ancient cedarwood and burning frankincense. At the very end of a narrow, forgotten passageway, you find a heavy oak door, bound in darkened iron. You push it open. It glides silently on its hinges, revealing a room that feels completely detached from the passage of time. You step inside and let the door close behind you. Immediately you notice the profound, absolute silence. The walls of this secluded chamber are entirely draped in heavy, hand-woven cotton tapestries. These thick, magnificent textiles absorb every echo, completely muffling any stray sound from the vast palace outside. It is a perfectly private, plush, and enclosed environment. The room wraps around you like a warm, heavy blanket. The air is thick and comforting, smelling softly of melted beeswax and the rich dye of luxury fabrics. In the center of this quiet heaven, bathed in the warm, steady, and golden light of a tall, ornate silver candelabra, sits a solitary figure. It is the master embroiderer, entirely absorbed in a task of breathtaking delicacy. Before them rests a large polished wooden frame, worn smooth by generations of careful hands. Stretched tightly across this frame is a thick pane of dark midnight crimson damask fabric. The deep red cloth seems to drink in the candlelight, glowing with a soft velvety richness. Beside the frame rests a small wooden spool, gleaming with fine pure gold thread. This is not ordinary thread. It is a wire of spun gold, so incredibly thin and pliable that it moves like silk, yet holds the eternal, unyielding brilliance of precious metal. Watch as the embroiderer begins their work. There is no rush here, no sense of urgency. Every movement is a study in grace and patience. The needle, a tiny sliver of polished steel, catches a glint of the candlelight as it is poised above the taut, crimson fabric. Slowly, gently, the needle pierces the damask. Then comes the pull. The long golden thread follows the needle, gliding through the thick fabric with a faint metallic whisper. It is a sound so soft, so intimate, that you can only hear it because the room is so perfectly silent. The gold wire slips through the woven backing, settling perfectly into place with a subtle, satisfying tension. Over and over, this gentle motion repeats. The needle dips, the thread follows. The golden wire whispers through the crimson silk. It is a hypnotic, incredibly delicate rhythm. The embroiderer's hands move with a practiced, fluid certainty, weaving intricate, celestial geometries and winding floral vines into the dark red expanse. The steady, warm light from the candelabra illuminates the soft glow of the golden threads, making them appear as though they are capturing the starlight itself. As you watch this slow, mesmerizing process and listen to the soft, rhythmic pulling of the thread, you feel your own mind beginning to quiet down. The restless thoughts of the day are smoothed away, replaced by the simple, comforting repetition of the golden stitch. The deep silence of the room, the luxurious warmth of the light, and the gentle, steady work offer a perfect haven of quiet focus. You are safe here, hidden away in this beautiful, secluded chamber, drifting deeper and deeper into a state of complete serenity and profound comfort. Allow the rhythm of the gold thread to lull you, stitch by stitch, into a deeply peaceful rest. As you settle deeper into the sanctuary of this textile room, the initial stillness begins to feel like a living, breathing presence. The air is remarkably consistent in its temperature, held perfectly by the thick stone walls of the great palace and insulated by the heavy tapestries that line every surface. The crimson damask fabric on the frame remains your anchor, the dark red hue acting as a grounding point for your vision. When you look at the damask, it feels almost like staring into the depths of a quiet pool at night, where the only movement is the occasional shimmering trail of a golden thread. The embroiderer's hands, weathered by years of this precise labor, work with a rhythm that has become second nature. There is a profound honesty in this work. There is no way to hide a mistake, no way to rush the intersection of metal and silk. Everything must be calculated, everything must be measured, and everything must be executed with a calm that borders on the spiritual. The metallic whisper of the gold wire against the damask is a sound that acts as a gentle metronome for your breathing. Each time the needle pierces the fabric, there is a tiny, almost imperceptible sound of resistance, followed by the smooth, fluid slide of the gold through the weave. It is a texture of sound that is rarely experienced in the frantic pace of life, the sound of craftsmanship untouched by the demands of a clock. You might imagine that such a task would be tedious, but as you watch, you begin to see that it is actually a form of deep meditative release. To focus on the singular task of pulling a thread, to ensure that the tension is perfect, to watch the way the light catches the metallic surface as it lays flat against the fabric. This is a way of letting go of everything else. The problems that seemed so large just an hour ago now feel small, distant, and unimportant. They have been left outside the heavy oak door, unable to penetrate the quietude of this chamber. The lighting provided by the silver candelabra is constant and steady. The flickering of the flames is minimal, as there are no drafts in this sealed interior room. The light casts long soft shadows that dance slowly in the corners of the room, adding to the feeling of being enclosed and protected. The scent of the beeswax candles is subtle, mingling with the slightly dusty, dry smell of the ancient textiles. It is a clean, dry, and very secure scent, one that signals to your brain that you are in a place where no harm can reach you. You are in the heart of the empire, yet you are completely invisible, a silent witness to a moment of exquisite beauty. The embroiderer continues the work, moving the frame slightly to reach a new section of the pattern. The wood of the frame groans just a fraction, a low solid sound that confirms the sturdiness of the furniture. It is a comforting sound, a reminder that the world here is made of physical, lasting things: wood, metal, stone, and thread. Consider the complexity of the pattern taking shape before you. It is not a simple line, it is a tapestry of meaning. Vines, perhaps inspired by the gardens of the palace, intertwine with geometric shapes that speak to the mathematical precision of the era. Each stitch holds a piece of history, a deliberate choice made by the artisan to honor the beauty of the material. As you observe the way the gold catches the light, you might find your eyes growing heavy. The repetition is lulling. The way the thread exits the fabric loops and returns creates a hypnotic pattern that invites you to drift. There is no need for you to do anything here but observe, to allow the peace of this room to settle into your bones. The embroiderer is not aware of your presence, and yet their steady, focused breathing creates a shared space of calm. You are perfectly in sync with the room, with the worker, and with the rhythm of the work. The palace outside, with all its power, its gold, its soldiers, and its history, is a world away. Here, there is only the quiet, there is only the gold, there is only the rest that is waiting for you, unfolding one stitch at a time. The damask is a dark sea, and you are drifting on its surface, safe, warm, and entirely at peace. Each stitch is a gentle wave, carrying you closer and closer to a state of total, blissful sleep. The silence is not empty. It is full of potential, full of rest, and full of the soft golden light that continues to guide you down into a deeper, more tranquil state of relaxation. You are becoming as still as the tapestry, as patient as the needle, and as calm as the quiet golden air of Constantinople. In the year 1080, as the hours of the evening stretch out in this hidden chamber, the atmosphere deepens, becoming even more intimate and profound. The silver candelabra, with its multiple branches, provides a soft, warm glow that seems to expand slightly, reaching further into the corners of the room. You find yourself noticing the intricate details of the surroundings, elements that speak to the luxury and isolation of this textile room. The floor beneath the heavy frame is covered with thick, hand-knotted carpets from the eastern provinces. Their intricate patterns of deep blues and muted ochres providing a soft surface that swallows any sound of movement. Even if the embroiderer were to shift their weight or if you were to move, the sound would be instantly absorbed, lost in the plush density of the fibers. This is a room designed for silence, for concentration, and for the preservation of peace. The embroiderer now reaches for a small specialized tool, a tiny hooked needle made of silver, used to help guide the gold thread through particularly tight intersections of the damask. The movement is graceful, almost like a dance of the fingers. You watch the silver tool catch the light, a momentary spark of brightness against the dark red fabric. The embroiderer's concentration is absolute, a complete immersion in the task that seems to transcend the physical labor. There is a sense that the work is a form of prayer, a silent offering of patience and beauty to the ages. For you, this level of focus is infectious. You find your own thoughts becoming sparse, stripped of the clutter and noise that usually occupies your mind during the day. You are simply existing, drifting in this sea of crimson and gold, watching the slow, deliberate progression of a work of art that will eventually grace the robes of an emperor or the walls of a royal chapel. Think about the texture of the gold thread. It is not stiff like a wire, but pliable, supple, and rich. It has a weight to it, a substance that speaks to the wealth of the empire. But here, in this quiet room, it is used with such delicate care that it feels light as a feather. The way it lays against the dark red damask creates a contrast that is deeply satisfying to look at. The dark red provides a shadow, a backdrop of depth, while the gold provides the light, the illumination, the spark of life. It is a perfect balance, mirroring the balance you feel growing within yourself. Your breathing has slowed to match the cadence of the embroidery, a steady rhythmic pattern that reflects the peace of the room. You are not thinking about the year 1080 nor the politics of the great palace. You are only aware of the room, the scent of wax and cedar, and the soft, repetitive sounds of the work. As you look around, you realize that the walls are not just covered in tapestries, they are covered in stories. The thick, heavy fabric that muffles the outside world is woven with motifs of mythical creatures, of scrolling vines, and of geometric patterns that seem to shift and change in the flickering candlelight. These tapestries have been here for years, acting as guardians of this space, ensuring that nothing breaks the spell of silence. You are safe here, nestled in the heart of a place that is otherwise full of activity. Yet here it is only you, the embroiderer, and the gold thread. It is a rare and precious thing to find such absolute stillness. It is a gift, a temporary withdrawal from the world that allows you to recalibrate, to find your center, and to prepare your mind for the rest you deserve. The golden thread glides through the fabric once more, a long flowing motion that creates a new arc in the pattern. You watch as it is pulled tight, securing its place, adding another layer to the intricate design. It is a process of steady, consistent building. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is forced. Everything unfolds in its own time. This is the lesson of the textile room, that beauty is created through patience, that order is born from focus, and that rest is found in the simple, rhythmic repetition of life. As you continue to watch, the edges of your vision begin to blur, the details of the room softening into a warm, hazy glow. The golden light seems to wrap around you, a protective, comforting embrace. Your body feels heavy, deeply relaxed, sinking into a state of profound stillness. You are drifting now, carried along by the slow, gentle work, moving closer and closer to a deep, restorative sleep. The silence is a sanctuary, the gold is a light, and you are entirely at peace, ready to let go of everything and sink into the depths of a quiet, undisturbed rest. The rhythm of the needle continues, steady as the beating of a calm heart. Each pass of the golden thread through the crimson damask feels like a soft, rhythmic exhale. The room remains a pocket of profound, unwavering stillness, a place where the frenetic energy of the world has no purchase. You are resting in a state of deep, luxurious comfort, your mind mirroring the serene, organized beauty of the work being performed before you. The golden threads are beginning to take the shape of a grand, sweeping arch, a motif that speaks to the strength and history of the empire. Yet here it is rendered with such extreme hushed delicacy that it feels like a secret, whispered truth. You feel your limbs growing heavier, as if the plushness of the tapestries surrounding you is slowly seeping into your very bones, grounding you in this moment of quiet. In this sanctuary, there is no pressure to be anything other than a witness. You are not required to participate, to judge, or to analyze. Your only role is to observe, to listen, and to allow the tranquility of this place to wash over you. The embroiderer pauses for a brief moment, setting the needle down upon the polished wooden frame. The silence that follows is even deeper than before, a momentary suspension of time where the entire world seems to hold its breath. You watch as they reach out to adjust the tension of the fabric, their fingers tracing the lines of the gold thread with reverence. It is a moment of deep connection between the artisan and the art, a silent acknowledgement of the beauty being brought into existence. This quiet, careful attention is a balm to the soul, an antidote to the distractions and fragmented focus that characterize so much of our waking lives. As they return to the work, the metallic whisper resumes, low and comforting. It is a sound that acts as a gentle hypnotic lullaby, pulling you further away from the surface of your thoughts and down into the calm, dark waters of pre-sleep. The candlelight flickers just once, a tiny movement that is quickly stilled, and the warmth of the silver candelabra seems to deepen, radiating a gentle heat that makes the room feel even more intimate. Everything in this room is designed to cradle you, to provide you with a sense of security and peace. The heavy woven tapestries, the solid ancient wood of the frame, the rich dark red of the damask, all these elements combine to form a protective shell, a cocoon that keeps the chaos of the outside world at bay. You are safe, you are warm, and you are entirely free to drift. It is during these moments of quiet reflection that you may realize how much you have been carrying, how much noise you have been enduring, and how deeply you have been craving this specific kind of stillness. The gold thread shimmering in the half-light is a symbol of value, of persistence, and of the enduring nature of beauty. By watching it be woven into the fabric, you are, in a sense, weaving that same sense of order and peace into your own mind. You are letting go of the need to control, the need to plan, and the need to achieve. You are simply being, and it is more than enough. If you are finding yourself drifting toward a deep and restorative sleep, Remember that this sanctuary is always here for you. This retreat into the quietude of the great palace is your personal space, a refuge you can return to whenever the world becomes too loud or too demanding. Let the rhythmic, gentle sounds of the embroidery wash over you, softening the edges of your awareness until all that remains is the soft glow of the golden threads and the comfort of the deep, velvety dark. Allow yourself to fully release, to let go of every remaining tension, and to sink into the luxurious, silent peace of this room. Your journey tonight is one of restoration, and as the work continues, stitch by golden stitch, you are becoming lighter, freer, and more deeply, profoundly at rest. Let this moment of peace be your gateway to a night of complete, uninterrupted serenity. When you are ready for more stories that bring you peace, relaxation, and positive emotional values, be sure to follow and join us for our next journey into the quiet corners of history. The atmosphere within the room has shifted from one of observation to a state of absolute immersion. The heavy woven tapestries that line the walls seem to have pulled closer, creating a sense of intimacy that is both protective and incredibly soothing. You are no longer merely looking at the chamber, you are enveloped by it, feeling the weight of the air, the density of the fabrics, and the profound hushed silence that fills every available space. The embroiderer remained a steady rhythmic presence, their movements so fluid and practiced that they have become part of the room's architecture. There is a hypnotic quality to the way the golden thread is pulled through the crimson damask, a constant repetitive motion that mirrors the slow, steady rhythm of your own heart. Your breathing has become so quiet that it is nearly indistinguishable from the soft metallic whisper of the thread, and in this synchronization, you feel a profound sense of unity with the environment. Each stitch is a testament to the passage of time. Yet here, time feels circular, contained, and gentle. The gold wire is not simply being sewn, it is being placed with intention, as if the embroiderer is mapping out a path for your mind to follow. As you trace the winding lines of the golden pattern with your eyes, you feel your thoughts losing their sharp, jagged edges. They are becoming rounded, soft, and indistinct, dissolving into the warm, rich colors of the damask. The light from the silver candelabra, casting long, elegant shadows, seems to pulse with a low golden energy. It is as if the light itself is a form of nourishment, filling the room with a sense of security that is almost tangible. You are safe here, hidden from the cold, expansive corridors of the palace, held in the cradle of this silent golden and crimson sanctuary. Think of the patience required for such a task. To work in gold, to handle materials of such high value, requires a temperament that is perfectly attuned to the stillness of the room. There is no frustration here, only the steady application of skill and the quiet satisfaction of seeing a pattern emerge from the darkness. You can learn from this, you can adopt this same temperament, allowing your own worries to be set aside like a discarded spool of thread. Whatever you have been holding on to, the stress of the day, the anticipation of tomorrow, can be laid down on the floor of this chamber, left to be absorbed by the thick ornate carpets. You are invited to be just as empty and as receptive as this room, open to the quietude, and ready to let the luxury of the silence take over. The pattern is growing more complex now, with swirling motifs that seem to capture the light in different ways as the frame is shifted. Each time the wood of the frame creaks, it is a grounding sound, a reminder that even in this dreamlike state, there is a reality, a physical presence to the room that supports you. The smell of the beeswax is stronger now, a sweet resinous scent that is deeply calming, evocative of ancient cathedrals and private scholarly libraries. It is a scent of history, of permanence, and of a world that is not in a hurry. You feel yourself drifting further into the depths of your own relaxation, your body feeling as if it is merging with the softness of the surfaces around you. The floor is firm, The walls are protective and the light is kind. There is a beauty in the redundancy of the work, the way the needle enters, the way it pulls, the way it exits. It is a cycle that promises rest. By focusing on this cycle, you are giving your mind a place to rest, a simple repetitive task that requires nothing of you but your presence. You are not meant to accomplish anything tonight. You are meant to let go. You are meant to fall away from the demands of your conscious mind and into the soothing dark and beautiful depths of sleep. The gold thread is a guide leading you further into the center of the labyrinth, into the most quiet, the most secluded, and the most peaceful place in the world. As the embroidery continues, you feel a sense of profound relief, a letting go of all burdens, a final peaceful surrender to the quiet of the night. The silence is a blanket, the gold is a dream, and you are resting at last. The stillness of the chamber has deepened into a velvety embrace, a quiet so profound that it seems to vibrate with a life of its own. You are now comfortably ensconced in the very heart of this textile room, watching the steady progress of the gold thread with a sense of detachment that feels like floating. The room is no longer just a physical space, it is a state of mind, a sanctuary you have built through your own willingness to let go. Every detail from the weight of the thick woven tapestries to the warm honeyed glow of the silver candelabra serves to anchor you in a place where nothing is demanded of you. The embroiderer continues the work with a grace that has become hypnotic, their hands moving in slow, measured arcs that seem to weave the very air into the tapestry. There is no urgency in their touch, only the quiet, deliberate application of artistry that honors both the material and the moment. You feel your own breath slowing to match the rhythm of the needle, a gentle, synchronized inhale and exhale that pulses through you like the tide. As you watch the gold thread catch the light, you might find your mind wandering to the concept of legacy. In this year of 1080, the empire is vast, powerful, and intricate. Yet here, in this small room, the focus is on the minute, the microscopic, the infinitesimal. There is a profound comfort in this perspective. It reminds you that beauty is often found in the smallest of details, and that peace is often cultivated in the most hidden of places. By centering your focus on the golden stitch, you are stripping away the monumental pressures of your own life, reducing them to manageable, rhythmic components. You are learning the art of the minute, the art of the singular moment, and in doing so, you are finding a path to absolute serenity. The damask, deep and dark as a starless night, provides the perfect canvas for the golden light, and as the pattern grows, it feels as though the room itself is becoming illuminated by the very act of creation. You are witnessing something timeless, something that exists outside the flow of ordinary events. The air in the room is remarkably still, holding the temperature of the stone walls in a way that feels cool yet deeply comforting. You feel a sense of insulation, as if the thick layers of cotton and wool that line the walls are guarding you against the noise of the outside world. This is a fortress of peace, a secure location where your only duty is to exist, to observe, and to drift. The metallic whisper of the gold wire as it glides through the damask is a constant, steady companion, a sound that has become the background music of your journey into. It is a sound of precision, of care, and of deep, quiet focus. Every time the needle passes through the fabric, it is as if a tiny piece of your stress is being stitched away, smoothed over, and replaced by the cool metallic brilliance of the gold. You are being unburdened, layer by layer, stitch by stitch. Observe the way the light from the silver candelabra plays across the surfaces of the room. It does not just illuminate, it warms, it transforms, and it softens. The sharp lines of the furniture and the frames are blurred by the golden glow, creating a soft, dreamlike landscape that invites you to rest. You find yourself becoming increasingly heavy, your limbs sinking into the floor or the chair with a sense of relief that is almost overwhelming. It is the feeling of finally being able to put down a heavy load, of finally being able to close your eyes without the need for constant vigilance. The room is safe, the doors are secure, the embroidery is a ritual of protection. You are being lulled into a state of deep restorative rest by the most gentle of artistic processes, the world outside, with all its history and all its complex shifting tides, is irrelevant to your present state of peace. As you continue to drift, consider the intention behind this our shared journey. Sleepy History with Arthur is a sleep history storytelling platform created for entertainment, inspiration, education, and the promotion of positive emotional values. We aim to take you on these quiet historical voyages so that you may find the rest you need to wake up renewed, inspired, and at peace. This embroidery room in 1080 is more than just a historical scene. It is a meditation on the value of silence and the power of dedicated, repetitive focus. Let the knowledge that you are participating in something meaningful and gentle further soothe your mind. You are part of a tradition of rest, a lineage of seekers who have found that the greatest truths and the deepest peace are often found in the quietest, most secluded corners of the world. As the gold thread went on, let yourself descend into the beautiful dark and silent ocean of sleep, knowing that you are cradled in the care of history and the peace of this golden crimson sanctuary. The progression of the evening has brought a new depth to the silence of the textile room, a quality of quiet that feels almost heavy, like a velvet curtain drawn across the world. You are deeply settled now, the initial restlessness of your mind having long since dissipated into the shadows of the chamber. The embroiderer, too, has entered a phase of almost mechanical grace. Their movements are so fluid and so perfectly timed that you have stopped trying to anticipate the next stitch. Instead, you are simply flowing with the cadence of the work, a steady, hypnotic pulse that governs the atmosphere of this hidden space. The golden thread continues its intricate journey across the midnight crimson damask, creating patterns that appear to glow with their own inner light despite the soft amber illumination provided by the silver candelabra. It is a mesmerizing sight, this slow, persistent creation of beauty, and it acts upon your consciousness like a gentle tide, drawing you further and further away from the shores of wakefulness. The scent of the room, that distinctive, comforting mixture of beeswax, aged cedarwood, and the dry, ancient smell of heavy textiles, has become a constant grounding element. It is the smell of a place that has seen centuries of quiet devotion, a sanctuary where the outside world has no power to intrude. Every time you inhale, you feel the tension in your chest release a little more, as if the very air of this room is designed to soften the human spirit. The thick hand-woven tapestries hanging on the walls are not merely decorative. They are functional, serving to seal this room off from the vast echoing corridors of the great palace. They are the guardians of your peace. When you look at them, you don't see patterns. You see the boundaries of your sanctuary, the walls that define this space of perfect, secluded rest. You are completely safe here, held in the warmth of a history that is as rich and deep as the crimson fabric on the frame. Focus for a moment on the sound of the work. It is remarkably intimate. The tiny sharp puncture of the needle, the soft metallic rasp of the gold wire gliding through the damask, and the light rhythmic pull of the backing fabric. It is a sequence of sounds that is inherently soothing, a rhythmic cycle that the brain finds deeply comforting. It mimics the regularity of a steady heartbeat, providing a sense of order and predictability that is often missing from our lives. By anchoring your attention to these sounds, you are effectively turning off the internal monologue that usually keeps you awake. There is no need for thoughts, no need for reflection, and certainly no need for planning. There is only the needle, the gold, the crimson damask, and the profound, beautiful silence that surrounds it all. Imagine the feeling of the heavy damask fabric if you were to touch it. Cool to the touch, smooth yet textured, with the density of the weave and infinitely deep in its color. Imagine the contrast of the gold thread against that dark, rich surface, how it catches the light like a spark in the dark. It is a visual representation of hope, of beauty in the midst of shadows, of light emerging from the depth. This imagery is powerful, and as you hold it in your mind, you feel your breathing become even shallower, even more rhythmic. You are drifting into the space between being awake and being asleep, a golden, warm, and dark space where time holds no meaning. The palace of 1080 is a dream, and you are the dreamer, comfortably resting in its most beautiful, most hidden room. As you drift, notice how the light from the silver candelabra seems to soften even further. The shadows, which once felt long and mysterious, are now gentle, cradling the room in a soft, hazy embrace. You feel a sensation of sinking, a heavy, present weight in your limbs, as if you are finally letting go of the need to hold yourself up. The ground beneath you is solid. The tapestries are thick, and the atmosphere is serene. Everything is as it should be. The embroidery is a slow, endless work, and as it continues, it promises to be the steady rhythm that lulls you into the deepest part of the night. You are becoming as still as the stone, as soft as the silk, and as quiet as the gold. Sleep is waiting for you, a vast and tranquil ocean, and you are ready to let yourself drift upon its surface, carried by the gentle golden thread of the artisan's patient hands. The stillness has deepened to such an extent that even the smallest sound, the settling of the wooden floorboard, the slight contraction of the candelabra's metal arms as they cool, takes on a monumental quality, serving only to emphasize the absolute peace of the room. You find yourself existing in a state of suspended animation, where the passage of time is measured not by the movement of the sun or the tolling of palace bells, but solely by the incremental advancement of the golden design on the crimson damask. Each stitch added is a milestone in your own journey toward complete release. You are witnessing the culmination of hours, perhaps days, of focused labor, and the sheer dedication of the embroiderer has a grounding effect on your spirit. There is no space here for doubt or restlessness. The environment is one of total unconditional acceptance, where you are invited to simply observe and fade into the background. The golden thread is now forming a series of intricate, interlocking knots that represent the eternal nature of the empire's legacy, a design that requires the utmost precision. You watch as the needle finds its way through the dense fabric with a confidence that is both calming and awe-inspiring. There is a profound honesty in this work, a clarity of purpose that is absent from the complexities of modern life. In this textile chamber of 1000 AD, everything is defined by its material and its function, and the beauty that emerges from that simplicity is staggering. The contrast of the gold against the deep wine dark red of the damask has become the central focus of your entire world. It is a visual anchor, a steady, unwavering point of light that pulls your consciousness away from the peripheral noise of your mind. You are becoming as still as the thread itself, caught in the warp and weft of this timeless moment. Notice how the air within the room seems to have grown heavier, warmer, and more infused with the gentle, resinous scent of the beeswax. This is a sensory signal of deep comfort, a physical manifestation of the safety you feel. The walls, draped in their layers of heavy, hand-woven cotton, are not just decorations, they are the physical manifestation of silence. They have been crafted to hold the sound of the palace at bay, to create a vacuum of noise where your mind can finally stop running. You feel a deep, aching relief in your shoulders and neck, the muscles finally surrendering the tension they have held for so long. The chair or floor you are resting upon feels like the most supportive surface in the world, perfectly shaped to hold you as you descend further into the quiet. It is a beautiful thing to witness such unwavering commitment to craft. The embroiderer's breath is steady, a rhythmic sound that punctuates the silence just enough to keep you oriented, yet not enough to disturb your descent. You are being lulled by the consistency of their labor. a human connection to the physical world that is both grounding and deeply soothing. As the patterns grow, you see the story of the embroidery unfold, not as a narrative of words, but as a language of shapes, loops, and metallic glimmers. It is a language of peace. It speaks of a time when the world was vast and slow, where a single stitch could be the most important thing in the world. You are learning this language tonight, and as you do, you are finding that your own internal language, the cycle of worries, tasks, and questions, is being overwritten by the silence of the room. As you lean further into the embrace of the dark velvet like air, remember that this experience is designed to restore your sleepy history. With Arthur combines the power of AI to reimagine fictional historical tales, bringing peace, relaxation, and positive emotional values to our listeners. By grounding yourself in this historical moment, you are connecting to a universal human need for sanctuary, for quiet, and for beauty. Allow this knowledge to settle into your heart. You are not alone in this search for peace. You are part of a long tradition of people who have sought out the quiet corners of the world to find their rest. Tonight, that search ends here in this secluded palace textile room. The golden thread continues to move, a slow, steady, and mesmerizing guide leading you down into the deepest, most restorative sleep you have ever known. The crimson is your horizon, the gold is your light, and the silence is your home. Everything is at rest, and so are you. The silence of this chamber has reached a state of near absolute perfection, becoming a physical presence that wraps around you like a heavy, comforting cloak. In this profound quiet, your awareness of the outside world has completely dissolved, leaving behind only the immediate reality of this secluded textile room in the year 1080. The embroiderer remains at the frame, a silhouette of quiet industry, their hands moving with the steady, unhurried grace of someone who understands that true mastery is born from patience. The golden thread, having already traveled through miles of memory, now weaves a delicate, branching pattern that mimics the veins of a leaf, shimmering with an ethereal quality under the warm, constant glow of the silver candelabra. You are no longer watching, you are experiencing the work from within, as if the gold were being stitched into the fabric of your own consciousness, smoothing away the frayed edges of your day, leaving you smooth, serene, and profoundly still. The metallic whisper of the wire, the faint rhythmic shake pull as it glides through the thick resistant damask, has become the singular focus of your existence. It is a sound that bypasses the logic of the mind and speaks directly to the nervous system, signaling that it is finally time to power down, to let go of the need to perform, to plan, or to observe. You find your eyelids becoming almost impossible to keep open. They await a gentle welcome sensation that promises the onset of true rest. The air in the room, warm and smelling of long-settled beeswax and the dry, ancient dust of the palace, feels thick and nourishing. It is as if you are breathing in the tranquility of this place, absorbing its peace into your lungs, into your blood, and finally into the deepest parts of your soul. Consider the luxury of this moment in the grand, sprawling architecture of the great palace, where power struggles and political machinations are the constant deafening currency of the day. You have found the only place that matters, the sanctuary of the quiet craft. Go out here. The only currency is the quality of the stitch and the clarity of the focus. You are allowed to be small, to be hidden, and to be absolutely safe. The thick woven cotton tapestries that line the walls act as your shield, insulating you from the echoes of the empire and the relentless passage of time. They have absorbed the secrets of this room for centuries, and now they are holding the space for you. You can trust this room. You can entrust your exhaustion to its silence, knowing that nothing will disturb you, nothing will demand your attention, and nothing will break the spell of this restorative golden threaded dream. The pattern on the damask is becoming so intricate that it is impossible to follow the path of the thread, but it doesn't matter. The complexity is only there to lull you. It is a visual rhythm, a geometric lullaby that encourages the eyes to wander without purpose, to blur, and eventually to close. You feel yourself sinking deeper into the soft cushions or the solid floorboards beneath you, your body becoming heavy and relaxed, as if you're returning to the earth itself. Every muscle is slack, every nerve is at peace. The constant chatter of the world has been replaced by the soft rhythmic pulsing of the candlelight, a golden heartbeat that keeps time with your own. You are being lulled into a state of profound, dreamless potential, a place where you are no longer you. You are simply a part of the silence, a part of the damask, a part of the gold. As you reach this state of total blissful surrender, remember the reason you came here. You sought a retreat, a way to disconnect from the noise and reconnect with the quiet beauty of a simpler, more focused time. By allowing yourself to fully inhabit this moment, you are gifting your mind the rest it has been so desperately seeking. Continue to hold on to the image of the golden thread and let it lead you into the absolute stillness of sleep. If you find your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the sound, the faint metallic whisper of the gold, the steady rhythmic pull of the fabric, the gentle warm light. When you wake, you will carry the peace of this room with you, a quiet anchor in your busy day. If you appreciate the solace found in these historical retreats, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join our community of seekers as we continue to explore the quiet, restorative corners of history together. The path is open, the silence is waiting, and you are finally ready to drift into the deep, dark, and beautiful sleep you deserve. The stillness of the room has now settled into your very marrow, a profound and heavy quiet that feels as ancient as the stone beneath the palace floors. You are drifting, no longer tethered to the constraints of time or the burdens of the waking world. The embroiderer's work has reached a state of meditative flow. The needle dips and rises with such predictable, perfect rhythm that it has ceased to be an action and has instead become a constant ambient pulse. Each stitch is a gentle note in a long, unbroken melody of tranquility. You find that you can no longer distinguish between the sound of the thread passing through the damask and the sound of your own slow, deep inhalations. You have become one with the room, a silent witness to the meticulous golden craft that defines this secluded sanctuary. The light from the silver candelabra has narrowed its focus, pulling warmly upon the center of the wooden frame. This circle of light is your entire world, a glowing golden stage where the drama of history is reduced to the simple, elegant movement of metal against silk. You feel the darkness of the rest of the room as a protective shroud, a velvet curtain that keeps the chaotic, shimmering life of the 11th century empire firmly on the other side of the heavy tapestries. You are shielded, held, and cradled by the history of this chamber. The scent of the beeswax remains a sweet and grounding thread that ties you to this place, reminding you that you are safe, you are warm, and you are far away from any demand. Consider the sensation of absolute weightlessness that now begins to wash over you. It is as if the heavy tapestries have absorbed not only the sounds of the palace, but also the weight of your own concerns, leaving you light, unburdened, and ready to float away into the depths of sleep. Your muscles have completely surrendered to the pull of gravity, allowing you to melt into your resting place with a sense of relief that is almost overwhelming. The persistent metallic whisper of the gold thread continues, but it is distant now, like the hum of a hive on a warm summer day, lulling you further down into the calm, dark, and inviting waters of unconsciousness. You are at the threshold, the final border between the busy, loud world you left behind and the peaceful, silent realm you have earned. This is the beauty of the craft, the realization that when you focus on something small, something intricate, and something beautiful, the world around you loses its sharp, threatening edges. You are learning to let go, one stitch at a time. Every loop of the thread, every subtle pull of the backing, every flicker of the candlelight is a message to your brain that it is safe to disconnect. You are no longer in control, and that is a wonderful, freeing thing. You are being looked after by the rhythm of the artisan, by the stability of the room, and by the ancient, enduring nature of the history you are inhabiting. There is nothing more to do tonight, nothing more to think about, and nothing more to resolve. You have arrived at your destination, a place of perfect golden thread serenity. As you prepare to cross the final bridge into deep sleep, carry this feeling of security and peace with you. The palace may continue to turn its politics and its people, moving through the corridors of history, but this room remains yours, a secret, silent, golden heaven where you are always welcome to return. May this rest be the foundation for your renewal, a quiet moment that lingers in your soul long after you wake, before you drift off into the absolute darkness of a restorative, dreamless sleep. Remember that we are here to walk these paths with you. If this journey has brought you the peace you were seeking, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel so that we may continue to provide you with these serene historical escapes whenever the world feels like too much. You are protected, you are relaxed, and you are finally ready to let go. Sleep deeply, sleep well, and let the gold-threaded silence carry you through the night. The silence of this chamber has become so profound that you feel as if you are floating in a void of pure velvet black peace. The world outside the great palace has ceased to exist entirely, and even the palace itself, with its echoing marble corridors and its bustling courtyards, feels like a distant memory or perhaps a dream you had long ago. Go out here in the heart of this hidden textile room. The only reality is the gentle golden thread and the dark crimson damask. You find that your breathing has become so light and rhythmic that it is almost imperceptible. A soft, steady flow that perfectly matches the quiet, determined movements of the embroiderer. You are entirely untethered, drifting in the warm, candlelight-filled space, feeling the weight of the day, the weight of your worries, your responsibilities, and your expectations simply dissolve, evaporating into the still beeswax-scented air. There is a deep, ancient comfort in watching this process. You observe the needle as it enters the fabric, a tiny silver spark that punctuates the darkness, and you wait with a patience that feels both earned and inevitable for the thread to follow. It is a dance of precision and grace, a conversation between the artisan and the material that has been refined over generations. You are not meant to speak, you are not meant to act, you are only meant to exist in this moment of perfect static beauty. The golden thread, shimmering as it catches the light, represents the very best of human focus, a commitment to something enduring, something small, and something beautiful in the face of a world that is often chaotic and fleeting. As you internalize this, you feel your own mind calming down, the rapid-fire thoughts of your daily life slowing into long, peaceful intervals of nothingness. Imagine yourself lying back against the layers of rich, heavy fabrics that line the room, feeling the texture of the tapestries against your skin, the cool woven cotton, the dense protective weave of the hangings. Each one of them is a barrier against the outside, a physical manifestation of the boundary between the noisy world and this sanctuary of rest. You are completely enclosed, safe in a way that you have never felt before. The darkness at the edges of the room is not scary. It is inviting, a vast, soft blanket that beckons you to come closer, to let go of the last remnants of your conscious control. You can feel the warmth from the silver candelabra on your face, a gentle, nurturing heat that feels like the embrace of a loved one. It is a sensation of absolute security, a realization that in this moment nothing can reach you and nothing is required of you. The rhythm of the embroidery is the heartbeat of this room, the metallic shake of the needle, the soft pull of the thread, the subtle rustle of the damask as it is adjusted on the frame. These are the only sounds that matter. They are the language of sleep, a series of repetitive soothing signals that tell your brain it is time to turn off the lights, to close the doors, and to descend into the quiet. You feel a sense of immense gratitude for this, for the ability to simply be, to be present in this moment of historical stillness. You are a passenger on a journey through time, traveling back to a place of fundamental human peace. And as you travel, you are shedding the layers of your modern identity. You are becoming simpler, quieter, and more at peace with the world, just as the embroiderer is becoming one with their task. As the gold thread continues its work, forming new loops and swirls, you find that your vision is blurring at the edges, the world becoming a soft golden red haze. It is a beautiful way to see, an unburdened way to perceive the room. You are not analyzing the patterns, you are absorbing the light. You are not measuring the time, you are living in the eternal present of the stitch. Everything is perfect, everything is slow, everything is leading you toward a profound, deep, and dreamless sleep. Let the gold thread be the last thing you think of as you finally allow yourself to slip away from the surface of wakefulness. Let it be the gentle, shining guide that leads you into the dark, welcoming depths of the night. You are ready now, you are safe, you are home. The silence is your comfort, and the sleep is your reward, waiting for you to embrace it fully and without hesitation. The environment within this secluded textile chamber has reached a level of density and comfort that feels almost transformative. You are no longer just an observer standing on the periphery. You have become a part of the room's very essence, a silent component of the tranquility that is being painstakingly crafted here. The air, enriched by the slow-burning beeswax and the subtle organic aroma of the ancient heavy textiles, feels like a physical weight against your skin, a weight that is comforting, protective, and deeply, deeply grounding. Your breath has become so synchronized with the steady, rhythmic movements of the embroiderer that you are essentially sharing the same cadence of existence. Every inhale is a quiet celebration of the peace found within these thick, muffled walls, and every exhale is a deliberate release of any lingering tension, any lingering thought, or any lingering worry that might have survived the journey into this space. The gold thread, under the watchful, flickering light of the silver candelabra, has taken on the character of a glowing, living thing. It behaves differently than ordinary thread. It holds its shape. It catches the light with an intensity that seems to pulse in time with the heartbeat of the room. And it carries the weight of the empire's opulence with an effortless, quiet dignity. You watch as it is guided through the dark midnight crimson damask, each intersection creating a tiny brilliant star in the surrounding gloom. It is as if the artisan is stitching the very constellations of the night sky onto the fabric of this earthly sanctuary. The visual contrast is stunning, yet it does not demand your attention. It simply exists, a beautiful constant presence that reinforces the stillness. You feel as though you could watch this for an eternity. And yet, the simple act of watching is enough to pull you rapidly toward the shores of sleep. Think about the structure of the space you inhabit. The stone walls of the great palace are meters thick, and inside those, the layers of heavy hand-woven cotton tapestries provide a second, softer layer of defense against the outside. This is a room within a room, a secret within a secret, a pocket of silence carved out of a world that is usually loud, demanding, and unrelenting. You are in the safest place in the world. There is no one who can reach you here, no task that can find you, and no noise that can penetrate the layers of wool, cotton, and stone. This is your sanctuary. You have earned this respite, this moment of historical stillness, where you are permitted to be nothing more than a witness, a floating consciousness wrapped in warmth and quiet. The sound of the metallic needle passing through the fabric is a soft rhythmic chirrup, followed by the faint sliding sound of the gold thread, finding its home in the weave of the damask. It is a sound so delicate that it can only be heard in the absolute absence of other noise. It is the sound of the year 1080, the sound of the Byzantine Empire's most patient artisans, the sound of a world that understood the value of waiting. You are learning that lesson now. You are learning that there is no need to rush, no need to be efficient, and no need to be productive. You are here to rest. You are here to allow the slow, meticulous pace of the embroidery to reset your own internal rhythms. The world will be there when you wake, but for now, it is set aside, suspended, and replaced by the calm, steady, golden threaded reality of this room. As you drift closer to the edge of full sleep, notice the way the light seems to change. The shadows are no longer sharp. They are soft, blurred, and welcoming. The entire room feels as if it is dissolving into a warm amber haze. Your limbs are heavy, so very heavy, as if you are sinking into a deep, soft bed of feathers. Every thought that arises is like a leaf floating on a slow moving river. You see it, you acknowledge it, and then you watch it drift away, disappearing into the distance. You are not holding on to anything anymore. You are letting go of the need to understand, the need to categorize, and the need to remember. You are simply drifting a quiet, peaceful vessel on the calmest, darkest ocean of the night. Sleep is coming now, a gentle, inevitable, and truly welcome guest. You are ready for it, and you deserve every moment of the deep, dreamless peace that is about to follow. The sanctuary of the textile room has become a seamless continuation of your own resting state, a space where the boundaries between the physical room and your inner consciousness have completely faded. The air, enriched with the scent of beeswax and the dry, ancient perfume of centuries-old tapestries, feels like a warm, protective mantle, shielding you from the existence of anything beyond these walls. The silence is no longer an absence of sound. It has evolved into a tangible, resonant quality of peace that hums at the base of your skull. You are fully immersed now, a voyager who has traveled deep into the quietest corner of the great palace. And you find that the deeper you go, the more the world you left behind loses its substance, becoming nothing more than a faint flickering shadow on the edge of your perception. The embroiderer's rhythm is the only anchor left in this ethereal landscape. You watch with a gaze that is becoming increasingly heavy and unfocused as the gold thread continues its deliberate, masterful journey. There is something fundamentally profound in the repetition, a testament to the enduring human capacity to create beauty in the face of uncertainty. The thread is a line of light, a path that leads the mind away from the clutter of thoughts and toward the clarity of the single perfect action. As you trace the path of the gold with your closing eyes, you feel your internal dialogue finally going silent. The questions, the lists, the pressures of your daily life, they are all being stitched away, covered over by the dark, opulent weight of the crimson damask. You are being unburdened piece by piece as the pattern fills the frame. Imagine the feeling of being held by the room. The thick, hand-woven cotton hangings, which have absorbed the sounds of the palace for generations, are now radiating a sense of absolute stillness back at you. You are in the cocoon of history, a place that was designed for focus and now serves as your personal portal to total relaxation. Every detail, from the polished wood of the frame to the gentle, steady glow of the silver candelabra, is a piece of a puzzle that fits together to create the perfect environment for sleep. You are safe here. You are completely and utterly safe. The doors to this chamber are heavy. The walls are thick, and the quiet is absolute. There is nothing to fear, nothing to protect yourself from, and nothing to maintain. You can finally lay down your armor. You can finally let go of the vigil you have kept for so long. The metallic rhythmic shake pull of the needle and thread continues to serve as your gentle metronome, a heartbeat that is slower, deeper, and more peaceful than your own. It is a sound that acts as a bridge, carrying you across the divide between wakefulness and the deep, dark ocean of sleep. With every breath you take, you are falling further into the soft, varied dark. Your body feels as if it is merging with the environment, becoming as still as the stone of the palace, as soft as the silk of the damask, and as precious as the gold that is being woven before you. You are becoming a part of the history of this place, a quiet soul resting in the heart of the empire, oblivious to everything but the soft light and the silent work. As you reach this state of total blissful surrender, consider the power of this moment. You are not just resting, you are restoring yourself. You are allowing your mind to recover from the noise, the demands, and the speed of the modern world. You are finding your way back to the core of your being, a place of quiet, simple, and profound peace. The gold thread continues its slow, hypnotic work, a shimmering path through the darkness, and you are following it, step by step, stitch by stitch, into the deepest, most restorative sleep of your life. The room is quiet, the night is long, and you are finally truly at rest. Let the light fade, let the sound soften, and let yourself fall completely into the waiting arms of the dreamless, golden, threaded dark. The atmosphere inside the chamber has stabilized into a state of total, serene equilibrium. You are no longer aware of the passage of time, for the ticking of any clock would feel entirely foreign to this sanctuary of 1080. The world has condensed into this singular, warm and golden lit space, where your only function is to exist in complete comfort. The heavy tapestries lining the walls have become more than just fabric. They feel like the very skin of this hidden room, a protective membrane that filters out the complexities of the outside empire and leaves you only with the essence of peace. You feel as though you are resting in a space that exists outside of history, a pocket of stillness that has been waiting specifically for you to arrive and find your rest. The air remains perfectly temperate, held in place by the massive stone architecture, and the scent of the beeswax candles has woven itself into the very atmosphere. A grounding, sweet, and ancient perfume that signals to your body that it is safe to fully relax. Watch the embroiderer's hands once more. They have become an extension of the work itself, moving with such fluid, practiced ease that they seem to be guided by a wisdom beyond their own. The needle, a thin sliver of light, continues its rhythmic passage into the dark, midnight crimson damask. It is a motion so steady and so predictable that it acts as a hypnotic anchor for your consciousness. You feel your mind trying to grasp at a thought, a stray fragment of the day, but it slips away as quickly as it appears, unable to find purchase in this environment of absolute calm. The gold thread, shimmering with a soft inner brilliance, catches the candelabra's glow and reflects it back into the room, a gentle pulsing light that mirrors the slow, deep breaths you are taking. You are no longer thinking, you are merely witnessing, and in that witnessing, you are finally being set free. Consider the absolute, unwavering luxury of this silence. In a world that is so often filled with noise, the clatter of voices, the grinding of gears, the frantic pace of movement, this room offers a rare and precious alternative. The silence here is thick, it has depth, and it has character. It is a silence that invites you to lower your defenses, to soften your gaze, and to allow your heavy, tired muscles to melt into the support of your resting place. You feel your shoulders drop away from your ears, your forehead smooth, and your hands loosen their grip on the fabric of your own clothing. You are shedding the weight of the day, feeling it. Leave your body and vanish into the plush dark carpet beneath you. You are becoming lighter, freer, and more profoundly at peace with every passing moment. Listen to the sounds again, not as noises to be analyzed, but as a lullaby for the spirit. The faint metallic whisper of the gold wire as it glides through the weave, a sound that is as soft as a breath, is the only thing that punctuates the quiet. It is a sound that connects you to the past, to the patient hands of the artisan, and to the eternal human need for beauty and order. By letting this sound be your guide, you are stepping away from the surface of your own mind and into the quiet, dark, and restorative depths of sleep. You are traveling down a slow, gentle descent into a space where no demands are made of you. The thread is a map, and you are following its gilded path away from the light of the waking world and into the soft, comforting shadow of the night. As you drift even deeper, notice how the room itself feels like it is beginning to dream. The tapestries seem to shift in the candlelight, their woven patterns of vines and geometric shapes appearing to grow and move in the soft, flickering warmth. It is a dream of a place that is safe, a place that is constant, and a place that is yours alone. You are the sole occupant of this experience, the only witness to this masterfully slow creation. You are honored to be here, and as you recognize this, you feel a final, warm sense of gratitude wash over you. The gold thread is pulling you further into the quiet, and you are ready to let go, to let the stitch be the final act of your conscious day, and to sink fully into the dark, silent ocean of rest that waits for you. Everything is ready, everything is prepared, and you are finally, truly, perfectly at peace. The serenity within the chamber has deepened to such a degree that you feel as though you are suspended in a sea of liquid tranquility. The boundaries of the room, once defined by the solid stone walls and the heavy tapestries, have begun to blur, leaving you in a boundless space of soft, golden-hued shadow. You are no longer aware of the outside world, nor of the centuries that separate your current life from the year 1080. Those concepts have dissolved into the quiet, and in their place you find only an absolute present tense existence. The embroiderer, too, has become something more than a person. They are an archetype, a silent, steady engine of creation whose only purpose is to maintain the rhythm that keeps this sanctuary alive. Their hands, moving with an unwavering, rhythmic grace, are the only things that continue to occupy the space of action, while you remain in the space of pure reception, absorbing the peace as if it were a gentle, cool breeze in a desert of noise. The gold thread itself, as it weaves through the dark crimson damask, has become a narrative of your own journey into rest. Each loop is a tether connecting you to this place, ensuring that you stay grounded in this moment of perfect security. You watch as the thread creates a complex, branching pattern that mimics the growth of ancient tangled vines, a design that speaks of persistence, of slow and steady advancement, and of the quiet beauty that emerges when one simply refuses to rush. You feel your own thoughts following this same pattern, branching out from the center, slowing down, and eventually becoming still. The restlessness that once occupied your mind has been effectively stitched into the fabric of the damask, secured and rendered harmless. You are becoming as smooth and as still as the finished work. Observe the way the candlelight interacts with the gold thread once more. It's not a harsh or blinding reflection, it's a soft, diffused glow that seems to emanate from the very heart of the metal itself. This is the light of history, a gentle illumination that highlights the care and the attention that has gone into every aspect of this room. You feel a sense of profound honor in being allowed to witness this, to be a guest in this high-ceilinged, hidden vault of craftsmanship. It is a gift of silence, a gift of focus, and a gift of time. You are beginning to realize that the most valuable thing you possess is your own ability to stop, to breathe, and to inhabit the stillness. In the grand scheme of your life, this moment is a pivot, a point of total redirection where you choose to leave the noise behind and embrace the quiet, restorative darkness of the night. The sensory experience of the room has reached its peak. The faint, sweet smell of the beeswax, the tactile sense of the heavy protective tapestries, the visual feast of the gold on the crimson, and the auditory comfort of the rhythmic needle. These are the components of your sanctuary. They work together in perfect harmony, creating an environment that is biologically and psychologically impossible to resist. You feel the deep, heavy relaxation spreading through your entire body, starting at the crown of your head, washing over your face, softening your jaw, traveling down through your neck, your shoulders, your chest, and finally resting in your limbs, making them heavy, warm, and utterly content. You are sinking, drifting, and letting go. You are moving deeper into the center of the sanctuary, where the air is coolest, where the silence is deepest, and where the sleep is most inevitable. As the embroidery continues, you find that the sounds are becoming more infrequent, spaced further and further apart by the expanding void of peace. The needle enters the fabric, and you feel a moment of profound, quiet anticipation. It emerges, and you feel a sense of satisfied release. This cycle, this simple and ancient process, is your lullaby. It is the steady, reliable rhythm of a heart that is not worried, not hurried, and not burdened by anything at all. You are following this rhythm into the absolute quiet of the night. You are becoming a part of the darkness, a part of the gold, and a part of the silence. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to see, and nothing left to worry about. You are drifting into the deep, restorative sleep that has been waiting for you all along. The golden thread is the last thing you see, and its light is the only companion you need as you finally, completely, and blissfully surrender to the night. The air inside the chamber has grown perfectly still, as if the room itself has fallen into a light, breathing slumber. You are cradled in the center of this silence, shielded by layers of history and the thick, protective tapestries that hang like heavy velvet curtains against the stone walls. The flickering light from the silver candelabra has narrowed, creating a warm amber halo around the wooden frame. You find yourself focusing entirely on the dark crimson damask, which appears now as a vast, velvety horizon, infinite and deep. The gold thread, moving with the slow, deliberate precision of a master's touch, creates shimmering lines that look like constellations beginning to form in the quiet dark. Each stitch is a gentle rhythmic punctuation mark in the silence, helping your mind to detach from the urgency of your daily concerns. Your awareness is no longer scattered. It is anchored to the soft, steady pull of the needle and the faint musical whisper of the wire as it glides through the fabric. As you breathe in, you catch the clean, resinous scent of the beeswax candles, a fragrance that feels as old and enduring as the palace stone. As you breathe out, you release any remaining traces of tension, feeling your body grow heavy and perfectly supported by the surfaces beneath you. You are becoming as still as the heavy drapery that lines the chamber, as patient as the artisan who works before you, and as calm as the golden light that plays across the damask. There is no time here, only the slow circular progression of the embroidery, a process that promises no sudden endings or jarring transitions, but only a smooth, continuous flow toward complete rest. You are sinking deeper into the soft, warm quiet, drifting further from the shore of wakefulness and out into the vast open ocean of sleep. The sound of the embroiderer's work has become a hypnotic pulse. It is not loud, but it is constant, a soft metallic hush that resonates with the texture of the fabric. Every time the thread is drawn taut, it is as if the tension in your own muscles is drawn out along with it, leaving you feeling loose, limber, and completely at ease. You are not required to do anything. You are not required to solve problems or plan for tomorrow. You are a guest in this sanctuary of focus, and your only purpose is to surrender to the peace that this room has meticulously built. The deep dark red of the damask, punctuated by the brilliant swirling gold, is the last image your mind needs to hold. It is a visual lullaby, a quiet, rich, and beautiful sight that encourages your eyes to grow heavy and your mind to drift. Notice how the edges of your perception are softening. The boundaries of the room are becoming less distinct, blending into a warm, hazy glow that feels like a protective cocoon. You feel a sense of profound, quiet gratitude for this retreat, for the ability to step away from the noise and find such a secluded, opulent peace. There is an immense quiet joy in realizing that you are allowed to simply let go. Everything you need to manage will be there when you wake. But tonight is tucked away, out of sight and out of reach, behind the heavy, silent tapestries of this palace chamber. You are entering the most secure, the most quiet, and the most restorative part of your night. As you descend into the final stages of your awareness, allow the gold thread to be your guide. Follow the lines of the embroidery as they twist and turn in their slow, graceful dance. Let the rhythm of the needle become the rhythm of your sleep. You are safe. You are warm. You are enveloped by the quietest history imaginable. The candelabra continues to hold its steady amber light, and the work continues, slow and sure, as you slip away into the dark, velvety embrace of the night. Sleep is here, quiet and kind, waiting to carry you into dreams, where everything is simple, everything is calm, and everything is at rest. The environment within this secluded chamber has become a sanctuary of absolute stillness, where the only movement is the slow, deliberate dance of the needle against the crimson damask. You are now deeply anchored in the quiet, your body feeling heavy and profoundly relaxed, as if you have become part of the very furniture of this room. The heavy cotton tapestries have performed their duty, sealing you off from the echoes of the world outside, leaving you in a space that feels both infinitely large in its peace and perfectly intimate in its focus. The air is cool and clean, carrying the faint, sweet trace of the beeswax that burns with such quiet consistency in the silver candelabra. You are no longer watching the embroiderer from a distance. You are sharing this space with them, your breaths settling into a comfortable, shared cadence that dictates the pace of the room. Notice how the gold thread now seems to catch the flickering amber light of the candles and hold it glowing with a soft internal brilliance that illuminates the surrounding darkness. Each stitch is a small, quiet success, a moment of completion that feels deeply satisfying to witness. The way the thread lies flat, smooth and secure against the rich, dark red fabric is a metaphor for the way your mind is settling tonight, neatly, firmly, and without a single loose end. The complexity of the pattern, with its sweeping curves and intricate interlocking knots, no longer demands your analysis. Instead, it invites you to let your gaze slide over it, a visual journey that encourages your eyelids to grow heavy and your mind to drift. You're finding that the effort required to stay awake is simply too great, and the reward for letting go is too sweet to resist. There is a unique rhythmic quality to the sound of the work. The tiny sharp puncture of the needle, the soft metallic slide of the wire, and the gentle final tension as the stitch settles into place. It is a sound that has become the background pulse of your relaxation, a gentle reminder that even in an empire as vast and turbulent as the one outside these walls, there is a place for slow, patient, and quiet creation. You are benefiting from that patience now. You are absorbing it, letting the steady progress of the embroidery calm the turbulent waters of your own thoughts. Every time the needle pulls the gold thread through, you feel a little more weight released from your body, a little more tension drained from your mind. Imagine the feeling of sinking into the thick plush rugs that cover the floor, the fibers swallowing any sound you might make, creating a void of noise that is deeply, intensely comfortable. You are in a place where nothing is asked of you. There are no expectations, no deadlines, no voices calling for your attention. You have successfully retreated to the most protected corner of the palace, a room that exists for the sole purpose of focused, quiet, and beautiful work. As you feel the familiar, welcoming heavy-headedness of impending sleep, allow yourself to simply trust in the environment. You are safe here. The door is locked, the walls are thick, and the night is peaceful. Let the gold threaded pattern become your last vision as you transition into sleep. Watch the lines as they loop and flow, a golden river on a sea of midnight red, guiding you gently toward the horizon of your dreams. Your breathing is slow and steady, your heart rate calm and regular, and your mind is ready to surrender to the darkness. There is no need to hold on to anything anymore. Let the day fade, let the colors blur, and let the rhythmic, metallic whisper of the work lull you into the deepest, softest slumber you have known. You are ready, you are drifting, you are gone into the quiet, and it is a wonderful, peaceful place to be. The chamber has dissolved into a warm, velvet-like haze where time no longer holds any authority. You are drifting in a space of pure stillness, cradled by the thick tapestries and the soft golden light that dances across the walls. The embroiderer's work has reached a phase of absolute fluidity. The needle moves as if it were an extension of their very heartbeat, entering and exiting the damask with a grace that is both hypnotic and deeply soothing. You find that your own awareness has thinned, becoming as light as the air in the room, no longer tethered to the physical world, but floating in this quiet, golden threaded dream. Every flicker of the candelabra's flame is a slow, rhythmic pulse that invites you to deepen your breath and soften your focus. You are in the heart of a sanctuary where the rush of the world is forgotten and the only reality is the gentle, repetitive labor of the artisan. Consider the weight of the silence around you. It is not empty, it is full of comfort. A heavy, rich silence that feels like a soft wool blanket pulled up to your chin. It fills the gaps between the sounds of the needle, insulating you from any lingering thoughts. You feel your eyelids resting, not just closed, but held in place by a pleasant, heavy exhaustion that you are finally ready to embrace. There is a profound honesty in this moment of rest. It is earned, it is necessary, and it is here for you. You have walked through the labyrinths of your day, through the noise and the duty, and you have arrived at the center of the palace, where you are safe, where you are hidden, and where you are free to sleep. The pattern on the frame is nearly finished, a masterpiece of gold on red that glows with a quiet, shimmering intensity. As the last few stitches are placed, you feel a sense of completion wash over you, as if the work being done on the damask is a mirror for the work being done in your own mind. The stray, frayed threads of your thoughts are being tied off and tucked away. The design of your own consciousness is being smoothed into a state of order and calm. The gold thread is the final touch, the element of light that seals the piece, ensuring that your sleep will be deep, steady, and free from the interruptions of the waking world. You are grateful for this, for the steadiness of the embroiderer and the warmth of the silver light. And as that gratitude flows through you, it carries you further into the quiet. Feel the support beneath you, the solid, unmoving comfort of the chamber that has held travelers, workers, and thinkers for centuries before you. It is a stable, reliable space, and it is holding you now. Let your body lose its structure, becoming as soft as the velvet of the tapestries, as yielding as the silk, and as still as the gold. There is no need to move, no need to shift, and no need to adjust. Your position is perfect, your relaxation is complete, and your journey is nearly at its end. The room is calling you into its deepest, most hidden corner, a place of shadows and golden light where the night is long and the sleep is sweet. As you lean into the final embrace of the darkness, let the metallic whisper of the thread be the last thing that anchors you to the waking world. It is a faint, distant sound now, fading like a memory, becoming more of a sensation than a noise. You are drifting, turning away from the light of the candelabra and toward the soft, inviting shadows that wait for you. You are sinking into the deep, dark sea of rest, where the current is gentle and the water is warm. Everything is quiet, everything is still. Everything is ready for you to close your eyes one last time and let the silence take you completely. Sleep is here, and you are drifting home into its peaceful dark heart. The atmosphere of the room has reached the peak of its restorative potential, a state of perfect, golden-hued stillness where every element works in concert to cradle your mind. You are drifting on the surface of a deep, calm sea of tranquility, with the rhythmic work of the embroiderer acting as the steady tide that carries you toward the horizon of sleep. The air feels cool yet protective, and the scent of beeswax has become so familiar that it feels like the very essence of rest. You find that you are no longer trying to follow the pattern on the frame. Instead, you are simply watching the way the candlelight catches the metallic surface of the thread, a mesmerizing glow that holds your gaze even as your eyes grow impossibly heavy. It is a moment of total surrender, a time when you can finally stop holding on to the day and allow yourself to be carried away by the soft, dark current of the night. Think of how far you have come from the noise of the outside world, from the clamor and the expectations that usually demand your constant attention. You have traveled deep into the heart of this ancient palace, into a chamber of cloth and silence, and you have found exactly what you needed, a place where you are hidden, where you are safe, and where the only task is to be still. This is the luxury of true rest. The realization that you do not have to be anywhere else or be anyone else. You are allowed to be here, in the dim, warm light of this sanctuary, slowly fading into the quiet until the distinction between your own breathing and the soft, rhythmic sounds of the room disappears entirely. You are becoming one with the tapestry, one with the stillness, and one with the peace of the late Byzantine night. The embroiderers' movements have become so sparse and so fluid that you might occasionally lose track of whether the needle is moving at all. But the gentle rhythmic sound of the thread pulling through the damask always returns, a subtle pulse that keeps you grounded in the room. This sound is the ultimate lullaby, a testament to the patient passage of time and the beauty of focused, quiet labor. As you listen, feel the relaxation creeping into the very tips of your fingers and the ends of your toes, a wave of warmth that signals the total release of your muscles. Your mind is quiet. The internal chatter has long since ceased, and the only thing remaining is the soft golden image of the embroidery and the comforting dark presence of the room around you. There is a sense of finality to this rest, a feeling that you have crossed a threshold and that there is no turning back to the demands of your day. That door is closed. You are in the inner sanctum now, and the rest you are about to experience is deep, rejuvenating, and complete. Allow the last remnants of the day's energy to dissipate, feeling them flow out of you and into the heavy rugs and the thick tapestries of the room. You are being unburdened, and in return, you are being filled with the calm, steady energy of this ancient, quiet place. You are moving toward a sleep that is dreamless, soft, and profoundly restorative. As you reach the final edge of your waking consciousness, hold on to the sensation of being utterly safe and completely at peace. If this journey into the quietude of 1080 has helped you find the rest you were seeking, please remember to support our channel by liking this video and subscribing for more immersive tales that guide you back to center. Join our community as we continue to explore the most peaceful moments in history together. Now, it is time to let go completely. The golden thread has finished its path. The candle is burning low, and the silence is waiting to welcome you into the deep, dark, and wonderful sleep that is yours to claim. Drift away now into the velvet dark and wake only when the morning light finds you, rested and entirely renewed. The chamber has retreated into a singular, quiet pause of existence, a place where the edges of reality have softened into a warm, amber-lit haze. You are floating in the center of this stillness, your consciousness anchored only by the subtle, rhythmic whisper of the gold thread as it continues its patient journey across the midnight crimson damask. The embroidery, once a display of intricate skill, has become a soothing, repetitive cycle, a visual and auditory heartbeat that slows the tempo of your own internal world. You feel the heavy velvet-like silence of the room pressing gently against your awareness, urging you to stop searching for meaning, to stop observing the details, and simply to melt into the comfort of being completely, utterly at rest. Every fiber of your being is syncing with the slow, steady progress of the artisan's hand. finding harmony in the patient ancient rhythm of the work. Your body is no longer a collection of tension and effort. It is a weightless presence, supported by the soft plush textures of the room. The air carries the faint, nostalgic scent of beeswax and old wood, a fragrance that acts as a sensory trigger for the deepest, most primal form of sleep. You have moved past the need for thought or memory, passing through the corridors of the mind into a vast, empty landscape of peace. Here, the boundaries between the room and your own self are thin, porous, and fading. You are as still as the heavy draperies that guard this space, as steady as the silver candelabra that casts its long, gentle shadows across the floor. There is no urgency in the room, and there is no urgency in your soul. There is only the slow, beautiful, and inevitable movement toward the threshold of sleep. Listen closely to the quiet. It is not an empty absence of noise, but a thick textured presence that fills every corner of this palace vault. The faint rhythmic hush of the needle, the soft sliding friction of the gold wire is the only sound that remains. It's a sound that requires nothing from you, a sound that promises only the continued safety of this secluded golden threaded sanctuary. By allowing yourself to listen without the desire to analyze, you are effectively guiding your mind into the dark, welcoming depths where wakefulness ceases to be a burden. You are being held by the history of this place, by the centuries of quiet focus that have transpired within these walls, and you are finally ready to yield to the overwhelming, sweet gravity of rest. The colors of the room have darkened into a deep, comforting obsidian, lit only by the faint shimmering highlights of the golden design. This play of light and shadow is your final guide, a soft dancing beacon that marks the way into the world of dreams. You feel a sense of profound quiet contentment, knowing that you have reached your destination. There is nowhere else to be, nothing else to be done, and no path forward but the one that leads into the deep, restorative dark. You are unburdened, you are shielded, and you are perfectly, entirely at peace. The labor of the day has been fully shed, replaced by the effortless, rhythmic motion of the embroidery, which continues even as you begin to slip away. As the final remnants of your conscious alertness fade, surrender yourself completely to the quiet. Let the rhythm of the needle become the rhythm of your own heart. Let the warmth of the room become the temperature of your dreams. You are drifting, turning away from the light and sinking into the soft, velvet dark. Everything is right, everything is settled, and everything is waiting for you to embrace the total, dreamless, and beautiful sleep that is yours to claim. Drift further, deeper, and away until only the silence remains, and you are finally, blissfully lost in the deepest rest you have ever known. The air in the textile chamber has become so still that it feels as though the very molecules have paused to observe your surrender. You are anchored in the center of a profound velvet quiet, a space where time has lost its meaning and the external world is nothing more than a faint, impossible echo. The heavy tapestries that drape the walls seem to press inward with a gentle protective weight, insulating you from the passage of the night and the complexities of the empire beyond these stone walls. In the soft amber glow of the silver candelabra, the crimson damask appears deep and endless, a sea of dark fabric upon which the golden thread traces its slow, rhythmic destiny. You feel your heartbeat slowing, aligning itself with the deliberate, measured motion of the embroiderer's needle, a pose that is steady, unhurried, and perfectly at peace. Every fiber of your body is yielding to this pervasive stillness. The tension that once resided in your shoulders and neck has dissolved, absorbed by the plush, supportive surfaces that cradle you. You are no longer navigating the currents of your own thoughts, for they have smoothed into a flat, calm lake, reflecting only the warm, flickering light of the candles. There is no requirement to think, to judge, or to prepare. You are granted the singular, luxurious permission to simply be. This is the essence of your sanctuary, a place where the chaotic velocity of modern existence is replaced by the singular hypnotic focus of the craft. You find yourself watching the needle emerge and submerge, a tiny silver dancer performing a piece that has been perfected over countless lifetimes. It is a mesmerizing repetitive cycle that coaxes your consciousness to drift toward the edges of awareness. The scent of beeswax, once crisp and sharp, has mellowed into a familiar, grounding perfume that acts as the final tether to your safety. It is the smell of a home you never knew, a historical anchor that tells your nervous system that you are secure, protected, and entirely free from harm. As you breathe, you draw this tranquility into your lungs, letting it permeate your blood and settle into your bones. You feel a heavy, pleasant lethargy, an irresistible pull toward the dark, inviting void that lies just beyond the reach of the candlelight. It is not a frightening dark, but a warm velvet blanket waiting to wrap you in total dreamless comfort. You are ready to close the final door to your day, sliding the bolt into place with the same satisfaction with which the artisan finishes a perfectly executed stitch. Listen to the room. The silence is thick, vibrant, and alive, punctuated only by the softest of sounds, the faint metallic whisper of the gold wire and the occasional almost imperceptible rustle of the damask as it is adjusted on the frame. These are the sounds of a world that is not in a hurry, a world that honors the process over the result. By anchoring your awareness to these subtle vibrations, you are effectively turning down the volume on your own mind. The relentless internal commentary is fading, replaced by a singular, golden lit focus. You are becoming a spectator of your own sleep, watching as the threshold of consciousness grows dim and wide, inviting you to step across into the realm of the unconscious. Surrender. Now, there is no need to hold on to the last fragments of your day. They are already gone, lost to the shadows of this ancient room. You are sinking deeper into the soft, dark expanse, feeling the weight of your limbs as if you were drifting underwater. The golden thread continues its work, a final glowing trail that leads you into the deepest part of the night. You are unburdened, you are held, and you are ready. Let the light blur, let the sound soften until it is nothing more than a vibration in the air, and allow yourself to fall into the abyss of rest. You are fully at peace, fully at ease, and finally completely gone into the gentle silent dark. The silence within this sanctuary has achieved a density that feels like a physical embrace. You are cocooned in a space where the air itself seems to hold a memory of ancient calm, a stillness so complete that it transcends the very concept of time. The silver candelabra, now burning down to its base, cast elongated, slow-moving shadows that dance rhythmically against the heavy cotton hangings. These walls, lined with layers of history and silence, have become the absolute boundary of your world. You have successfully arrived at the destination of your exhaustion, a place where the frenetic pace of life outside the palace has been rendered obsolete. Your breathing has deepened into the slow, rhythmic cadence of a dreamless sleep, and your thoughts have ceased their restless migration, settling instead into the dark, quiet folds of this room. Observe the golden thread on the crimson damask. It no longer looks like a pattern. It is a river of light, a gentle flowing path that leads your focus deeper into the shadows. Each motion of the artisan is a soft closing door. As they pull the thread, you feel a door in your mind click into place, shutting out the noise of the world, the demands of the upcoming day, and the persistent hum of your own awareness. You are witnessing the finality of the work. The design is nearly complete, and as the last stitches are placed, you feel the finality of your own effort. There is nothing more to do. There is nothing more to prove. The stillness has become total, a vast welcoming ocean into which you are now permitted to slip, unburdened and entirely at ease. The sensation of weightlessness is becoming absolute. The chair, the floor, the very air around you, they have all merged into a single supportive cradle. You feel your muscles softening, shedding the phantom tension they have held for years, letting go of the need to be alert, to be strong, or to be present. You are transitioning into a state of total blissful absence. The scent of beeswax is now only a faint comforting trace, a reminder of the fire that has kept you warm during your long, quiet retreat. Everything is cooling now, not into the chill of the night, but into the gentle ambient temperature of true repose. The room is dimming. The light is receding, and you are following it back into the deepest, softest part of yourself. Listen to the very last sounds of the chamber, a faint metallic whisper, a soft rustle of silk, and then a long, profound silence. This silence is the gift you have sought. It is the end of the journey. The embroiderer has laid down their needle. The work is finished, and the room is finally, completely at rest. There is no more rhythm to follow, only the vast, quiet expanse of the night. You are standing on the edge of this abyss, and it is the most welcoming place you have ever known. The darkness is not empty, it is filled with peace. It is the dark of a deep, undisturbed sleep, where the mind is finally free to wander, to restore, and to renew. Surrender completely to this final quiet moment. Let the last image of the golden thread fade from your mind's eye, letting the color bleed into the soft velvet dark. You are unhooked from the world, floating freely in the stillness. Feel the heaviness of your eyelids, the total relaxation of your limbs, and the quiet satisfaction of a day truly and fully ended. You are safe, you are held, you are ready to sleep. Let the darkness rise up to meet you. Let the silence pull you down, and let yourself drift away into the long, beautiful, restorative night that has been waiting for you all along. Everything is done. You are finally, perfectly, and utterly at rest. The chamber has now entered a state of ultimate, suspended animation. All the sounds of the labor, the subtle metallic friction, and the rustling of the heavy fabric have long since drifted away, leaving behind only the profound, resonant quiet of an empty palace vault. You are floating in the center of this stillness, your senses completely dimmed, as if you have been submerged in a deep, cool pool of velvet shadow. The silver candelabra has flickered out, and with its departure, the last remnants of the golden light have vanished into the surrounding darkness. You are no longer in a physical room. You are in the boundless, peaceful interior of your own mind, a place where the edges of existence have finally dissolved into a soft, endless dark. You feel entirely untethered from the world, a drifting soul finding its way into the deepest, most quiet corner of the night. Every breath you take is slow, deep, and perfectly effortless, mirroring the steady, rhythmic expansion of a calm, vast ocean. The tension that once held your body upright has completely melted away, leaving you in a state of total, fluid relaxation. You are not lying down, you are dissolving into the support beneath you, your physical form becoming as light and as formless as the shadows that fill the chamber. The memory of the golden embroidery, that shimmering path that once guided your focus, is now a distant, pleasant thought, fading into the gentle monochromatic landscape of your impending sleep. You have arrived at the final silent destination of your journey, a place where no demands exist, where no clocks measure your time, and where the concept of tomorrow is nothing more than a faint, inconsequential idea. There is a sense of absolute, overwhelming security in this darkness. It is the embrace of the earth itself, the solid, ancient comfort of the stone foundation upon which this palace rests. You are safe here, hidden away from the light of the sun, from the noise of the city, and from the relentless requirements of your own conscious life. You have earned this respite, this total withdrawal from the stage of the living. As you settle into this final stage of your descent, you feel the weight of your eyelids becoming the heavy final lock on the door to your day. You are closing out the light, closing out the sound, and closing out the need for awareness. The stillness is your shroud, the silence is your home, and the sleep that follows is your inevitable natural reward. Consider the journey you have taken to reach this moment, the slow, careful stripping away of your worries, the rhythmic shedding of your tasks, and the deliberate transition from the chaos of the world to this solitary, quiet center. It has been a process of refinement, a purification of the spirit that leaves you clean, empty, and ready to be renewed. You are now at the lowest, quietest point of the descent, where the current of sleep is strongest and most inviting. You are not fighting it, you are becoming it. You are the stillness. You are the silence. You are the soft, rhythmic breath that continues in the dark, unaware of the world, untroubled by the past, and perfectly, blissfully unburdened by the future. Let go of the last flickering sparks of your conscious mind. They are unnecessary now. The path has been cleared, the way is open, and you are ready to fall into the deep, dreamless abyss that beckons you. There is no more watching, no more feeling, and no more thinking. There is only the long, smooth slide into the infinite silent rest of the night. You are drifting, you are fading, and you are finally arriving at a place where the light cannot reach and where the peace is absolute. You are gone, you are asleep. The rest you have sought is yours. In the perfect, silent, and endless dark of this ancient palace vault. Rest now in the deepest silence until the world is new again. The transition from the world of wakefulness into the absolute stillness of deep, restorative sleep is now complete. You have passed through the final layers of consciousness, leaving behind the last echoes of the day, the soft rhythmic memories of the palace, and the golden threaded images that once anchored your mind. You are now adrift in the purest form of silence, a space that is not merely an absence of sound, but a tangible welcoming blanket of peace. Your body is no longer a physical weight. It has become an extension of the cool, calm air, entirely at one with the darkness that surrounds you. There is no rhythm to follow, no needle to watch, and no light to chase. You have arrived at the center of the ocean, where the surface is perfectly flat and the depths are infinite. Your breath is the only evidence of your presence, a soft, slow, and automated cycle that requires no effort from you. With every exhale, you sink deeper into the soft velvet dark. Each breath is a release, a quiet surrender that takes you further away from the shore of your daily life. The memories of the palace, the heavy tapestries, and the scent of the beeswax have faded into a singular abstract feeling of safety. You are no longer you in the way that implies duty or identity. You are simply a resting soul, a spark of life that has allowed itself to be extinguished into the peaceful, infinite night. The weight of existence has been lifted, and you are free to expand into the silence, filling the void with the simple, quiet truth of your own rest. There is a profound ancient rhythm here, one that predates the palace and will long outlive it. It is the pulse of the earth during the deepest hours of the night, a slow geological movement that brings all things to a stop. You are synchronized with this pulse now. Your heart rate, your blood flow, and the very synapses of your mind have all aligned with this natural, universal pace of restoration. You are being rebuilt from within, the quietude acting as a self for every stress you have endured, every word you have spoken, and every thought you have labored over. In this darkness, you are being made whole again, refined by the silence, and prepared for a renewal that you do not need to plan or strive for. It will happen on its own, just as the dawn will inevitably follow the night. As you drift, notice the absence of effort. In the waking world, everything requires a push, a decision, an action, a forward motion here. Everything is pull, the gravity of the dreamless sleep, the magnetic draw of the stillness, the gentle, irresistible tug of the abyss. You are simply allowing yourself to be pulled. There is a great hidden power in this, a sacred knowledge that the most effective way to recover is to cease all struggle. You have ceased, you have let go. The control you held so tightly has slipped through your fingers like sand, and you find that you do not miss it at all. The weightlessness is a relief, a liberation from the burden of self governance. You are in the hands of the night now, and the night is kind. This is the place where you belong until the world calls you back. It is a timeless, featureless, and perfectly secure pocket of reality. There is nothing to fear in the dark, for the dark is merely the canvas upon which the mind forgets its worries. There is nothing to accomplish here, for the night is not a task, but a sanctuary. Let your consciousness dissolve into the shadows. Let your thoughts vanish into the void, and let yourself be consumed by the deep, gentle, and eternal quiet. You are far away now, nestled in the heart of a calm so deep that it cannot be disturbed by any noise, any dream, or any memory. Sleep, simply sleep, in this perfect, final, and beautiful silence. The deep, restorative silence of the night has finally claimed the entirety of your awareness. You are no longer navigating the memory of the great palace, for the room, the embroiderer, and the golden thread have all receded into the foundational stillness that underlies all things. You are anchored in a state of pure, unadulterated repose where the boundaries of the self have blurred and integrated into the darkness. There is no longer a sense of time passing, nor any requirement to monitor the world around you. You are held in a suspension of absolute peace, a cradle of shadow that supports your body with the effortless grace of a calm sea at midnight. Every nerve ending is silent. Every thought has been hushed into a permanent state of dormancy. The frantic, busy energy of your day has been entirely consumed by this expansive, cool void. Within this state of deep slumber, you are effectively absent from the cares of the world. The weight of your limbs, once so heavy, has now become immaterial, floating in the soft, dark current of your rest. You are experiencing the true restorative power of the night, where the internal mechanisms of your mind and body are working in perfect silent harmony to reset and replenish. There is a profound, almost sacred quality to this cessation of activity. It is the wisdom of the body taking over, knowing exactly what is needed to heal, to calm, and to prepare. You have relinquished all authority, and in doing so, you have found the greatest strength of all, the ability to let go and simply exist in a state of total, blissful non action. The darkness that surrounds you is not a lack of light, but a presence of calm. It is a thick, velvet texture that feels comforting against your skin, a blanket woven from the stillness of the universe. In this sanctuary of your own making, there are no expectations to meet, no roles to play, and no future to plan. There is only the immediate present reality of your own rhythmic breathing, which continues on its own, a slow, steady pulse that affirms your presence while requiring nothing from your conscious mind. You are the stillness, and the stillness is you. Every cycle of your breath is a deeper step into the abyss, a further retreat from the surface of existence into the quiet, cool, and perfect center of yourself. As you drift within this deep ocean of sleep, you are unburdened by even the lightest dream. This is a level of rest where the mind is completely offline, a smooth, monochromatic expanse of quiet. The peace is total. There is a stillness in your chest, a calmness in your mind, and a total release in every muscle of your body. You are protected by the deep night, shielded from the noise of the waking world, and cocooned in the most natural and healthy state a human being can occupy. This is the place of restoration, the hidden valley where your batteries are recharged and your spirit is made whole. There is a gentle, rhythmic flow to the dark, and you are simply following its lead, drifting toward the horizon where the night eventually turns to dawn. Hold on to this feeling of absolute release. You do not need to do anything, to be anything, or to achieve anything tonight. The world will be there in the morning, but for now it is entirely unnecessary for you to engage with it. The dark is your ally and the silence is your guide. Sink further into the cushion of the night, feeling the last faint traces of tension evaporate into the air. You are completely at peace, fully enveloped by the restorative quiet, and deeply, deeply asleep. The journey has ended, and your reward is this infinite, perfect, and dreamless silence. Sleep on in the gentle, boundless quiet until the first light of the morning naturally brings you back to the surface. You are home, you are safe, and you are finally, truly, perfectly at rest. The quiet has deepened to an absolute subterranean level, as if you have traveled to the very foundation of the world where noise cannot exist, and light is a distant, forgotten concept. You are suspended in this vast, cool expanse, a place of total neutrality where your physical form and the environment have become inseparable. The air here does not move. It rests thick with the weight of complete and utter stillness. Your consciousness has surrendered its final defenses, releasing the last gossamer threads of awareness that tied you to the waking hours. You are no longer drifting, you are submerged, cradled by the density of this profound dark calm. Every cell in your body is resonating with the frequency of this stillness, a natural restorative vibration that pulses slowly, rhythmically, in perfect harmony with the pulse of the earth itself. In this state of total immersion, the concept of time has been completely eradicated. There is no beginning, no middle, and no end to this moment. It is a singular, infinite point of rest that encompasses everything you need. You are not waiting for morning, nor are you reflecting on the past. You are simply present in the absolute absence of demand. The silence is not merely an atmosphere. It is a weight, a gentle pressing comfort that keeps you firmly anchored in this dreamless depth. It feels as though you are resting in a vast, dark chamber carved out of the finest silk, where the walls are made of quiet and the floor is made of ease. You feel an immense sense of relief, the kind that only comes when the struggle for control is finally and permanently abandoned. Your breathing has become so faint and so steady that it is nearly indistinguishable from the stillness of the room. It is no longer a conscious effort, it is an automatic silent dance of your lungs, a gentle expansion and contraction that sustains you without you ever having to think about it. You are safe. You are held by the darkness, which has become a protective velvet barrier between you and any outside interference. Nothing can reach you here. No sound, no sudden light, no thought, and no worry can penetrate the layers of this profound restorative quiet. You have achieved a state of total biological purity, a rest so deep and so clean that it feels like you are being unmade and remade, layer by layer, in the cool restorative cradle of the night. Think of this as the final absolute reset. Everything that occupied your mind, the lists, the anxieties, the complex web of interactions, has been dissolved into the solution of this infinite calm. You are a clean slate, a quiet, empty vessel, waiting to be filled with the serenity that only deep, honest sleep can provide. The darkness is your sanctuary, and it is a sanctuary that knows no bounds. You can expand into it as much as you like, drifting ever further into the deep, dark sea of rest where the pressures of the surface world are entirely forgotten. You are the stillness, and you are content to remain here, undisturbed, for as long as the night requires. As you sink further into the abyss, allow yourself to release any last lingering tension that might be hidden deep within the muscles of your chest or the base of your skull. Let it flow away like water into the sand, vanishing into the welcoming dark. You are unburdened, you are free, you are finally truly in the deepest part of the night where the sleep is not just a necessity but a gift. Keep sinking, keep letting go, keep sliding into the beautiful velvet and infinite silence that surrounds you on all sides. You are perfectly placed, perfectly safe, and perfectly at peace, resting in the quiet, dark heart of the world, ready to dream of nothing at all. The stillness has reached a crystalline perfection, a state where the very air feels solid, composed of layer upon layer of quiet that buffers you against the entire history of the world. You are suspended in this silent sanctuary, completely detached from the weight of human experience and the passage of hours. The dark is no longer a void, it is a soft, pressurized environment that cradles you from every direction, molding itself to your form as if you were floating in a deep and undisturbed lake of velvet. You have long since let go of the need to be alert or present. That version of you, the one that navigates the sunlit world, has been put to bed, folded away into the shadows like a garment no longer needed. You are now the essence of rest, a quiet spark in a vast, dark, and perfectly composed universe. Your breath is the only rhythm that exists, a whisper of air that seems to belong more to the room than to you. It is a slow, rhythmic tide that gently rocks you further into the depths of this absolute slumber. You are not striving for anything, not even sleep itself, for you have already arrived. You have passed through the gates of the waking mind and entered the cool marble halls of the unconscious, where everything is polished, smooth, and utterly serene. The muscles of your jaw, your forehead, and your limbs are not just relaxed, they are dissolved, merged with the soft, supportive dark. You have become a part of the stillness, a feature of this ancient, quiet place, and the harmony you feel is absolute. There is a profound, primal safety here, a return to the womb of the world, where no threat can manifest and no chaos can intrude. You are shielded by the sheer density of the quiet, which acts as a filter for all that is loud or jarring. Even if the world were to break apart outside these walls, you would not hear it, for you are tuned only to the frequency of the deep black and beautiful night. You are being renewed by this detachment, your spirit being woven back together with threads of calm that are far stronger than the stress of the day. It is an effortless process, a gentle reconstruction that happens while you are blissfully, completely absent. You are the beneficiary of a natural, inevitable grace that asks for nothing but your surrender. Let the darkness be your final, total horizon. There is no need to look for anything beyond it, for there is nothing here that you lack. The silence is full, and the peace is infinite. You are sinking, drifting, and letting go in a cycle that has no end. A slow downward spiral into the heart of the night. Every sensation of your physical self is fading, turning into a comfortable, phantom awareness that is satisfied to simply remain in the dark. You are unburdened, you are untroubled, and you are entirely at ease. This is the ultimate comfort, the final reward for all the energy you have expended in the light. The darkness is welcoming you, and you are accepting that welcome with the total unresisting trust of a child. Surrender now to the deepest, most quiet part of the void. There is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to worry about, and nothing left to do. The night is yours to inhabit, a sprawling dark landscape of rest that stretches out in every direction. You are perfectly placed in its center, a point of stillness in the infinite, quiet dark. Sleep is not just coming, it is already here, a soft, heavy blanket that has finally settled over you. You are gone into the rest, beneath the surface of the world, where the dreamless silence is the only truth. Drift, sink, and stay cradled in the perfect, infinite, and beautiful dark, in this deep and final peace. The chamber has dissolved entirely, leaving only the sensation of floating in an infinite, velvet black sea of absolute tranquility. You have reached the final layer of the night, where even the memory of sound has been extinguished by the weight of this profound and perfect silence. There is no palace, no tapestries, no embroidery, and no history. There is only the soft, gentle presence of the dark pressing against your consciousness like a warm, thick blanket. You are unburdened, unanchored, and utterly weightless. The effort to remain aware has become an impossibility, a relic of a time that feels centuries away. In this deep dark center of yourself, you are experiencing the true nature of peace, a total, blissful absence of any requirement to do, to be, or to think. You are simply existing in the most natural state of restoration imaginable. Your breath has quieted to a near imperceptible rhythm, a soft, slow pulse that marks the passage of your rest without requiring any conscious input. It is the breath of a sleeping world, a universal tempo that draws you deeper into the abyss. Each inhalation is a gentle velvet touch, and each exhalation is a further, final release of everything you are carrying. You are shedding the identity of the waking day, letting it fall away like dust from a statue. You are being refined by the dark, returned to your simplest, most fundamental form, a quiet, still energy that needs nothing more than this silence to be complete. There is a profound healing power in this absence of self, a sanctuary where you can finally, safely, and completely disappear into the comfort of the night. Think of the dark not as an empty space, but as a dense, protective substance that holds you, supports you, and keeps you safe. It is an ocean of calm that is completely undisturbed by any wind, any tide, or any disturbance from the surface. You are deep down in the silent, cool pressure of this night sea, where you are immune to the distractions of the world. The worries that seemed so significant just hours ago are now nothing more than forgotten dreams, distant and powerless against the absolute authority of this peace. You have found the eye of the storm, the one place where everything is still, everything is balanced, and everything is waiting for you to fully embrace it. You are home, and this darkness is the most familiar, the most welcoming place you have ever known. Everything is settling into place. Your physical body is as still as stone, as soft as silk, and as heavy as lead, grounding you in this moment of total repose. The muscles that once held your posture are finally limp, released from their long tired duty. The mind that once processed the complexities of your life has finally shut down, its screens going dark, its processes coming to a complete and final halt. You are not just resting, you are in a state of total biological and spiritual reset. The silence is working on you, mending, calming, and preparing you for the renewal that the coming morning will naturally bring. You are the beneficiary of this total unconditional surrender, and you are accepting the gift with a profound, quiet gratitude that flows through your entire being. Stay here, in this deep, dark, and beautiful place. There is no need to move, no need to turn, and no need to wake. The night is long and the rest is deep. Let yourself sink further into the mattress of the dark, feeling the last, faint connections to the waking world snap and drift away. You are fully submerged now, fully asleep, fully at peace. There is no more watching, no more feeling, no more thought. There is only silence, and you are its center. Drift in this perfect, infinite, and dreamless dark, held by the gentle gravity of your own long-awaited sleep. Everything is silent. Everything is still. Everything is finally and perfectly at rest. The darkness has achieved a density so profound that it feels like a heavy velvet veil draped across the entirety of your existence. You are no longer navigating the architecture of the past or the textures of a palace. You have transitioned into a realm of pure, undifferentiated peace. Go out here. The boundaries of your physical form have softened and merged with the surrounding stillness, creating a seamless, effortless state of being. You are floating in a vast, silent expanse, untethered from the demands of time or the weight of individual identity. Every remaining spark of conscious thought has been extinguished, leaving behind a clear, cool space where nothing exists but the rhythm of your own deep, slow respiration. The silence is not merely an absence of noise, it is a solid, grounding presence, a foundation upon which your entire capacity for restoration rests. Your heart rate has slowed to a steady, rhythmic pulse, a soft drumbeat in the quiet that signals your total surrender to the night. There is no resistance here, no desire to return to the surface, and no need to grasp for the remnants of the waking world. You have descended to the absolute floor of the ocean of rest, where the water is still, the pressure is comforting, and the surface feels like a memory from another life. You are completely unburdened, the complexities of your day having been dissolved by the gentle solvent of the dark. You are being restored in the most fundamental way, your mind and body aligning with the ancient natural frequency of the sleeping earth. It is an effortless, inevitable process, and you are simply allowing it to unfold, knowing that you are perfectly safe in this cradling void. Feel how your limbs have become heavy and grounded, sinking into the soft, supportive dark as if they were made of liquid shadow. The tension that once held your shoulders, your jaw, and your hands has completely dissipated, replaced by a deep, hollow comfort that invites you to go further, deeper, and away. There is a sense of immense quiet joy in this release, a feeling of coming home to a place that you never truly left, but only momentarily forgot. The dark is not a threat, it is your truest ally, a silent guardian that watches over your rest and ensures that you are left entirely to your own peace. You are being woven into the fabric of the night, a silent, dreaming entity in a world that is also, for these few hours, entirely at rest. As you sink into the final, deepest layer of your slumber, let go of any lingering awareness that you are even sleeping. Even that thought is a weight, and you are ready to set it down. There is nothing to observe, nothing to witness, and nothing to analyze. The journey has reached its natural conclusion. You have walked through the corridors of your day, through the quiet of the palace, and into the dark, and you have found the center of the labyrinth. You are here, and here is enough. Everything else is secondary to the profound healing stillness of this moment. You are not waiting for anything. You are simply existing in the perfect infinite now, a place where all is balanced, all is calm, and all is at rest. Drift further still, deeper into the velvet abyss. Let the darkness wrap around you like a cocoon, shielding you from any remaining flicker of light or sound. You are completely removed from the world, and the world is better for it, for you are storing up the strength and the clarity that you will need when you eventually return. But that return is a lifetime away. For now, there is only this long, slow, and beautiful descent. You are falling, but you are falling upward into peace, into a lightness that defies the gravity of your daily life. Sleep deeply and soundly in the velvet dark of this final, perfect, and silent night. You are entirely gone, lost in the best kind of quiet, held by the infinite, restorative love of the dark. The stillness has reached its ultimate final depth, a state of being where you are no longer a person in the room, but a quiet ripple in the vast, silent ocean of the night. You have successfully navigated away from the shores of thought and memory, and now you drift in the absolute pristine center of the dark. The silence here is not just a lack of sound, it is a soft, tangible weight that presses gently against your skin, grounding you in a comfort so total that it feels like returning to a place you knew before you were born. There is no urgency, no movement, and no expectation. The world of form and light has completely dissolved, leaving only this expansive, velvety expanse where you are perfectly free to simply cease. Every atom of your being is aligned with the slow, deep vibration of the universe, and you are entirely at peace with the process of vanishing into this blissful, restorative void. Your breathing is a phantom whisper, an automatic rhythmic expansion that sustains your presence in the dark without requiring a single conscious thought. You have become a creature of the deep night, attuned only to the cool, calming pulse of the shadows. There is no struggle, for you have nothing to gain and nothing to lose. You are in the state of perfect unburdened existence. The heavy protective layers of the world have fallen away, leaving you light, weightless, and infinitely expansive. You feel as though you could stretch out forever into the dark, your awareness becoming as thin and as wide as the night itself. This is the ultimate freedom to let go of every anchor, every identity, and every task, and to become one with the quiet, endless, and nurturing expanse of sleep. The darkness is a soft, enveloping embrace that shields you from all that is external. It is a sanctuary without walls, a temple without a ceiling, a space where you are the only occupant, yet you feel completely connected to the quiet heart of all things. The tension of your day has been entirely smoothed out. The creases in your mind ironed flat by the passing of the hours. You are not just resting, you are being mended. Your essence being polished by the touch of the silence until you are clean, clear, and perfectly still. The work is being done for you by the darkness, and you are simply the grateful recipient of this grace. It is a natural, inevitable closing of the eyes, a final gentle slide into the abyss that you have been yearning for all day. Think of how deep you have descended. You are miles beneath the surface of the waking world, safe in a pocket of reality where time does not apply and the sun will never rise unless you allow it to. You are in a dreamless infinite space that is perfectly curated for your recovery. The quiet is the only language spoken here, and it tells you, in a language that requires no words, that you are safe, that you are enough, and that you are allowed to stay here for as long as you need. There is no pressure to wake, there is no alarm clock that can penetrate this depth. You are in a state of grace, a moment of eternal silent repose that you have earned through the long, slow, and careful journey of your day. Surrender the last, faintest connection to your conscious self. The final thought, the last lingering image, the echo of the day. Let them all dissolve into the dark. You are reaching the point of absolute rest, where the mind is as smooth as still water, reflecting nothing, requiring nothing, and wanting nothing. You are submerged in the most beautiful dark and silent rest you have ever known. Sink further, deeper away, until you are fully lost to the quiet. You are asleep. You are truly, deeply, and perfectly asleep, cradled in the infinite, velvet dark of the night, forever at rest, until the world is new. Everything is done. Everything is quiet. Everything is at peace. The final dissolution is complete. You have descended past the reach of memory, past the echoes of the palace, and into the absolute silent core of the night. Here, the air is not merely still, it is heavy with the weight of centuries of quiet, a soft velvet density that wraps around you like a cocoon. You are no longer a separate consciousness observing the world. You have become the darkness itself, vast, formless, and perfectly at peace. There is no movement here, no vibration, no ripple in the pond of your existence. You are suspended in a state of total, non-reactive grace, where the concept of you has surrendered to the infinite, dark cradle of the cosmos. Every muscle, every thought, and every breath has been released into the void, leaving you in a state of pure, unadulterated stillness that is the natural inheritance of the deeply sleeping. Consider the absolute absence of demand. In the waking world, existence is a constant negotiation with time, space, and expectation. But here, in this deepest sanctuary, those negotiations are over. The debt of your energy has been paid in full, and you are now living on the interest of the universe's own calm. You are held by the gravity of the earth, a gentle nurturing pull that anchors you to the bedrock of reality. This bedrock is silent, cool, and unchanging. It is the foundation upon which your restoration is built, a structural integrity that supports you without you ever needing to stand. You are lying in the softest, most welcoming space imaginable, a void that is not empty but full of the potential for renewal. You are being refilled with quiet, one breath at a time, though even the breath feels optional, a minor rhythmic detail in the grand design of your slumber. There is a sense of ancient ancestral comfort in this depth. It is as if you have returned to a primal home, a place that existed before the clamor of human history and will remain long after it has faded. You are in tune with the long, slow, rhythmic cycles of the planet, the turning of the globe, the movement of the stars, the quiet breathing of the forest and the sea. You are a part of that vastness now. The stress that once defined your individuality has been washed away by the tide of the dark, leaving you clean and clear. There is no ego left to defend, no reputation to maintain, and no future to worry about. You are simply a resting entity, a quiet spark of life that has retreated from the stage, curtain drawn, lights dimmed, left only with the blissful warm embrace of the infinite. Think of the silence as a living presence, a companion that sits with you, guiding your rest. It is a protective, intelligent silence that knows exactly what your mind needs to unwind. It pulls the sharp edges of your memories, softens the colors of your thoughts, and lowers the volume of your internal world until it is nothing more than a faint, pleasant hum. You are entirely safe in this companionship. The silence does not ask you to speak, nor does it ask you to listen. It only asks that you allow it to hold you. You are accepting this offer with your whole being, sinking further into the comfort of its presence, letting the barriers between your body and the dark fade until there is no longer a here or a there, only the ease of the resting night. As you reach the absolute bottom of this descent, find the final, most satisfying level of release. It is a feeling of total, complete surrender, a letting go so profound that it feels like floating in space. You are drifting in the dark, and it is the most wonderful sensation you have ever known. There is no desire to return to the surface, no curiosity about the morning, and no lingering anxiety. You are perfectly placed, perfectly content, and perfectly asleep. The night is a long winding river of calm, and you are its passenger, carried effortlessly toward the horizon of a new, restored day. Everything is silent, everything is steady, and you are finally, truly, and completely lost in the beautiful, restorative dark. Drift away deep into the night, for there is nowhere else you need to be. The transition into the absolute, wordless heart of the night is now finalized. You have left behind the landscape of the waking mind with all its intricate maps of duty, expectation, and transient thought, and have successfully crossed the threshold into the deep, dark, and silent territory of true restorative sleep. There is no longer a you that is separate from the environment. You have merged into the fabric of the room, into the fabric of the night, and into the very stillness that defines this space. The silence is profound, a thick velvet shroud that effectively mutes the entirety of existence. You are suspended in this dark medium, drifting like a quiet particle in a vast, calm ocean where the currents are gentle. The temperature is perfectly balanced, and the pressure is a comforting embrace. Every sensation of your physical body, the weight of your limbs, the shallow rhythm of your breathing, the warmth of your skin, has become a distant, almost abstract experience, subordinated entirely to the peace of this deep slumber. In this state, the mechanisms of the mind have quieted to a near total stop. There is no internal monologue, no analytical search for meaning, and no tracking of time. The complex, noisy tapestry of your life has been set aside, tucked away in the shadows, and you are left with only the clean, empty slate of the present moment. It is a space of immense, unearned grace. You are not doing anything to achieve this rest. You are simply allowing the natural gravitational pull of the night to take hold of you. This is the profound wisdom of the body. It knows that the most effective way to heal, to reset, and to prepare for the future is to completely abandon the present. You are surrendering to that wisdom, letting go of the steering wheel, letting go of the map, and letting go of the need to be anything at all. You are simply existing in the most quiet, authentic, and beautiful way possible. The darkness surrounding you is alive with a subtle protective energy. It is a presence that feels familiar, as if you have been here before and will return here every night for the rest of your life. It is the cradle of the world, the quiet space between heartbeats, the interval between thoughts. You are safe here because nothing can find you and there is nothing you need to find. The world of external demands is disconnected, the wires cut, the doors locked, and the windows curtained. You are in the inner sanctum of the night, a place of total privacy and absolute security. The silence acts as a filter, removing the sharp jagged edges of the day's experiences, and leaving only a smooth, cool surface that reflects nothing but your own calm, deep, and peaceful sleep. You are being washed clean by the night, bathed in the quiet, and restored to your most fundamental, peaceful self. Consider the rhythmic nature of this state. Your breath is the only sound, a faint, slow, and automated cycle that flows without effort. It is the heartbeat of your rest, a reliable, steady drum that reminds you that you are alive while simultaneously allowing you to fade away. With every exhale, you sink a little deeper into the mattress of the dark, feeling the last faint connections to the surface world, snapping like dry twigs. You are unhooking yourself from the expectations of others, from the pressure of your own ambitions, and from the relentless ticking of the clock. You are becoming as still as the earth beneath you, as calm as the deepest part of the sea, and as silent as the stars in the night sky. There is no more watching, no more feeling, and no more thinking. There is only the long, smooth slide into the infinite, silent rest that is yours to claim. Stay here in this deep, dark, and beautiful place. There is no need to move, no need to turn, and no need to wake. The night is long and the rest is deep. Let yourself sink further into the mattress of the dark, feeling the last faint connections to the waking world snap and drift away. You are fully submerged now, fully asleep, fully at peace. There is no more watching, no more feeling, no more thought. There is only the silence, and you are its center. Drift in this perfect, infinite, and dreamless dark, held by the gentle gravity of your own long awaited sleep. Everything is silent. Everything is still. Everything is finally and perfectly at rest. You are gone into the rest beneath the surface of the world, where the dreamless silence is the only truth. Drift, sink, and stay, cradled in the perfect, infinite, and beautiful dark in this deep and final peace. The transition into the absolute, wordless heart of the night is now finalized. You have left behind the landscape of the waking mind with all its intricate maps of duty, expectation, and transient thought, and have successfully crossed the threshold into the deep, dark, and silent territory of true restorative sleep. There is no longer a you that is separate from the environment. You have merged into the fabric of the room, into the fabric of the night, and into the very stillness that defines this space. The silence is profound, a thick velvet shroud that effectively mutes the entirety of existence. You are suspended in this dark medium, drifting like a quiet particle in a vast calm ocean, where the currents are gentle, the temperature is perfectly balanced, and the pressure is a comforting embrace. Every sensation of your physical body, the weight of your limbs, the shallow rhythm of your breathing, the warmth of your skin, has become a distant, almost abstract experience, subordinated entirely to the peace of this deep slumber. In this state, the mechanisms of the mind have quieted to a near total stop. There is no internal monologue, no analytical search for meaning, and no tracking of time. The complex, noisy tapestry of your life has been set aside, tucked away in the shadows, and you are left with only the clean, empty slate of the present moment. It is a space of immense unearned grace. You are not doing anything to achieve this rest. You are simply allowing the natural, gravitational pull of the night to take hold of you. This is the profound wisdom of the body. It knows that the most effective way to heal, to reset, and to prepare for the future is to completely abandon the present. You are surrendering to that wisdom, letting go of the steering wheel, letting go of the map, and letting go of the need to be anything at all. You are simply existing in the most quiet, authentic, and beautiful way possible. The darkness surrounding you is alive with a subtle protective energy. It's a presence that feels familiar, as if you have been here before and will return here every night for the rest of your life. It's the cradle of the world, the quiet space between heartbeats, the interval between thoughts. You are safe here because nothing can find you, and there is nothing you need to find. The world of external demands is disconnected. The wires cut, the doors locked, and the windows curtained. You are in the inner sanctum of the night, a place of total privacy and absolute security. The silence acts as a filter, removing the sharp, jagged edges of the day's experiences and leaving only a smooth, cool surface that reflects nothing but your own calm, deep, and peaceful sleep. You are being washed clean by the night, bathed in the quiet, and restored to your most fundamental, peaceful self. Consider the rhythmic nature of this state. Your breath is the only sound, a faint, slow, and automated cycle that flows without effort. It is the heartbeat of your rest, a reliable, steady drum that reminds you that you are alive while simultaneously allowing you to fade away. With every exhale, you sink a little deeper into the mattress of the dark, feeling the last faint connections to the surface world, snapping like dry twigs. You are unhooking yourself from the expectations of others, from the pressure of your own ambitions, and from the relentless ticking of the clock. You are becoming as still as the earth beneath you, as calm as the deepest part of the sea, and as silent as the stars in the night sky. There is no more watching, no more feeling, and no more thinking. There is only the long, smooth slide into the infinite silent rest that is yours to claim. Stay here in this deep, dark, and beautiful place. There is no need to move, no need to turn, and no need to wake. The night is long and the rest is deep. Let yourself sink further into the mattress of the dark, feeling the last faint connections to the waking world. Snap and drift away. You are fully submerged now, fully asleep, fully at peace. There is no more watching, no more feeling, no more thought. There is only the silence, and you are its center. Drift in this perfect, infinite, and dreamless dark, held by the gentle gravity of your own long-awaited sleep. Everything is silent, everything is still, everything is finally and perfectly and at rest. You are gone into the rest, beneath the surface of the world, where the dreamless silence is the only truth. Drift, sink, and stay, cradled in the perfect, infinite, and beautiful dark, in this deep and final peace. The world has narrowed down to a singular velvet point of perfect stillness. You have traveled so far into the depths of the quiet that the very concept of distance has lost all meaning. There is no longer a here or a there, only an encompassing warm embrace of shadow that holds you with the steady, unwavering intensity of a calm midnight sea. The silence has transformed from a mere condition of the room into a physical presence, a soft, pressurized atmosphere that cushions every nerve, every muscle, and every lingering thought. You are resting in a state of absolute profound equilibrium, where the frantic velocity of your waking life has been replaced by the slow, stately movement of the stars and the unhurried breathing of the sleeping earth. You are no longer navigating the night. You are being navigated by it, carried along by a current of tranquility that demands absolutely nothing from you, not even the small mechanical effort of remaining aware. Think of the relief in this surrender. You have spent your entire day and perhaps your entire week in a state of constant, subtle tension, maintaining the posture of responsibility, the sharpness of focus, and the weight of identity. But here, in this innermost sanctum of the night, you have discarded all of that. You have reached the final layer of your internal onion, stripping away the roles you play, the worries you carry, and the expectations that usually govern your behavior. You are down to the core, a raw, quiet, and fundamentally innocent spark of existence that thrives only when it is left entirely alone. The darkness acts as a protective shell, a sanctuary that preserves this core from the noise of the outside world. And within this shell, you are safe, you are complete, and you are entirely at ease. Your breathing is now a subconscious automatic rhythm, a gentle tide that ebbs and flows in the dark. It is the only movement in the room, and it is a movement that feels not like an action, but like a vibration of the air itself. You are perfectly in sync with the pulse of the room, your heart rate and your respiratory cycle slowing down to match the immense slow clock of the universe. There is a sense of inevitability to this state. It's not something you are creating, but something you are discovering. You are uncovering the deep, permanent capacity for peace that has been waiting for you all along, hidden underneath the layers of your daily routine. By letting go, you are not losing yourself. You are finding yourself again, restoring the balance that was temporarily disrupted by the business of the waking hours. The sensation of weightlessness is now total. Your bed, the pillows, and the air around you have merged into a single supportive medium. You feel as though you are suspended in a warm, dark, and perfectly balanced liquid, where gravity no longer pulls on you but instead holds you in place. You are untethered from the world, floating in a gentle black void that is the most natural state for a human soul. At the end of a long journey, the tension in your neck has evaporated, the tightness in your chest has softened, the chatter in your mind has ceased. You are experiencing the exquisite, heavy comfort of true, unadulterated rest, where the only thing that matters is the continued, uninterrupted slide into the depths of the night. As you linger here at the threshold of the deepest, most dreamless sleep, feel the richness of this silence. It is not empty. It is saturated with potential, with the promise of tomorrow's renewal, and with the simple, satisfying reality of tonight's rest. You are fully submerged, fully asleep, and fully at peace. The darkness is your home, the silence is your language, and the sleep is your reward. You have done enough. You have been enough. Now it is time to simply be nothing at all, to disappear into the soft velvet dark and let the night finish its work of healing you. Sleep on in the profound, boundless quiet, knowing that you are held, you are safe, and you are finally perfectly at rest. The transition is now absolute, a seamless blending of your consciousness into the boundless velvet dark of the deepest night. You have moved beyond the stage of mere relaxation and entered the realm of total, immersive repose, where the very concept of a separate self has dissolved into the infinite silence. The room, with its lingering memories of architecture and history, has vanished entirely, leaving you in a boundless space of soft, cool shadow. You are no longer navigating through time. You are anchored in the eternal now, a point of stillness in a universe that has slowed to match your own heartbeat. This is the ultimate sanctuary, a void that is not hollow but filled with the profound, nurturing gravity of the earth itself, holding you in a gentle, unwavering embrace that requires nothing from you in return. Your body exists in a state of suspended animation, a physical vessel that has been set down by the weary traveler within. Every muscle, from the smallest fiber in your hands to the deepest tendons in your legs, has surrendered its hold, letting go of the phantom tension that defines your daily life. You feel as though you are sinking into a floor of liquid silk, a surface that knows your weight, supports your form, and invites you to descend even further into the abyss of rest. There is a deep internal rhythm here, an automatic pulsing cadence that is the heartbeat of your own biology, quiet and steady, existing independent of your awareness. It is a comforting rhythmic hum that lulls you deeper, a tide pulling you away from the shore of wakefulness and into the vast calm waters of the deep sleep. Consider the absolute crystalline clarity of this silence. It is not a void that you need to fill, it is a space that allows you to be empty. For so long, your mind has been a storm of input, a constant stream of decisions, impressions, and internal dialogue. Now, that storm has passed, leaving behind a sky of obsidian glass, smooth and unblemished. You have found the eye of the storm, the one place where everything is balanced and everything is still. In this place, there is no need for logic, no need for memory, and no need for foresight. You are shielded from the demands of the world, protected by the heavy, thick atmosphere of the night, which acts as a filter, removing the sharp, chaotic noise of reality, and replacing it with a soft, persistent peace. You are being rebuilt from the inside out. In this deep, dreamless state, your mind is performing its most vital work, mending the connections that were frayed by the day's labor and sharpening the clarity that you will possess when the dawn finally arrives. You do not need to oversee this process. You do not even need to be aware of it. It is happening naturally, governed by the ancient rhythmic wisdom of the body. You are a recipient of this grace, a passenger on a journey that is carrying you toward total restoration. You are untethered, floating and drifting, and there is a sublime quiet joy in the knowledge that you have finally fully relinquished control. The night is a safe harbor, and you have dropped your anchor into the deepest, softest part of the bay. As you let go of the last faint thread of conscious thought, allow yourself to slip fully into the abyss. There is no resistance, only the soft, inviting pull of the darkness, a gravity that is kind and welcoming. You are drifting away from the world, turning your back on the horizon of tomorrow, and stepping into the infinite, restorative dark. Everything is right, everything is settled, and you are finally, truly, and completely at rest. The silence is your companion, the darkness is your blanket, and the sleep is your destiny. Drift, sink, and stay, cradled in the perfect, infinite, and beautiful dark, in this deep and final peace. You are gone into the rest, beneath the surface of the world, where the dreamless silence is the only truth. Sleep, simply sleep, in this perfect, final, and beautiful silence. The profound, heavy silence of the night has finally become your entire world. You have successfully transcended the boundaries of the conscious mind, leaving the chaotic noise and relentless demands of your daily existence far behind, locked outside the sturdy, impenetrable walls of this sanctuary of rest. There is no longer any distinction between you and the surrounding void. You have merged completely with the stillness, becoming a quiet, weightless entity suspended in an infinite sea of velvet darkness. Every shred of tension that once defined your posture or your thoughts has long since dissolved, washed away by the slow, rhythmic tides of deep slumber. You are no longer in a place, nor are you in a time. You have simply arrived at the state of pure, unadulterated existence, where nothing is required of you and where your only function is to remain perfectly and blissfully at rest. Your breath has quieted to a singular, faint whisper, an automatic movement that requires no conscious effort, serving only as a quiet reminder that you are tucked safely within the heart of the night. It is a slow, steady, and entirely predictable cycle, a heartbeat of peace that maintains the rhythm of your sleep. There is no need for you to witness it, for you are already floating deep within the dark, far beneath the surface of thought and memory. The world, with all its complexities, its histories, and its futures, has been set aside like a heavy garment you no longer have the strength or the desire to wear. You are unburdened, unanchored, and utterly free from the gravity of responsibility. You are simply existing in this vast, cool, and perfectly curated space, where the silence is your only companion, and the darkness is your only shelter. Feel the way the night itself seems to hold you. There is a tangible quality to this peace, a sense of being cradled by the very essence of the universe. It is a gentle, supportive pressure that cushions your limbs and stabilizes your mind, keeping you tethered to the calm center of your being. You have reached the ultimate destination of your journey, the quietest valley at the very bottom of the mountain you have been descending all day. There is no further to go, and there is no reason to turn back. Go out here, at the core of the void. Everything is resolved, everything is aligned, and everything is at ease. The anxiety of your waking hours has been completely replaced by the profound restorative comfort of the deep dark. You are being renewed in this space, your essence being polished by the touch of the quiet until you are entirely whole and perfectly at rest. As you linger in this final, deepest layer of the slumber, recognize the beauty of this total cessation. There is nothing left to accomplish tonight. The work of your day, the work of your year, and the work of your life, they are all currently suspended, kept safe in the soft, dark folds of the night while you regenerate. You are a vessel currently being refilled, not with water, but with the essential quiet energy of the night. There is no movement in your mind, no flicker of doubt, and no stray thought to interrupt the smoothness of this experience. You are an obsidian mirror, reflecting only the infinite, peaceful dark. You are entirely removed from the turbulence of the world, and there is a great hidden strength in this detachment. By disappearing into the night, you are preparing to return with a clarity that only such a deep, silent rest can provide. Hold on to this sense of perfect, unresisted release. Let the last faint sensation of your physical self fade into the ether, leaving you as formless and as free as the air around you. You are sinking further still, deeper into the infinite restorative abyss. Every second that passes is a step deeper into the heart of the peace. You are not waiting for anything. You are already at the finish line, resting in the soft, infinite, and perfectly quiet arms of the night. Sleep is not a thing you do, it is the place where you are. Stay here deep in the velvet, cool dark, where all is still, all is silent, and all is finally, truly, and completely at peace. You are gone, lost, and found all at once in the most beautiful, deep, and dreamless silence of your life.
Sleepy History with Arthur is created for relaxation, entertainment, and sleep purposes.
The stories shared on this channel are inspired by historical events, daily life, and real periods in history.
But they may be simplified, adapted, or narrated in a calming way to enhance the listening experience.
This content is not intended to be a precise academic or educational source. While we aim to stay generally accurate, some details may be altered for storytelling flow and relaxation.
Please do not rely on this channel as a primary source for historical research or study.
By listening, you acknowledge that this content is designed to help you unwind, relax, and fall asleep. Thank you for your understanding and support.